Who texted you that?
Dad.
Oh, well, I'm actually live now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Nick.
Oh. I'm Joe and I clicked the wrong button.
I'm Shannon.
Welcome to the Destiny 2 podcast. I mean, wait.
We're not quite to the Destiny 2 part of the podcast yet.
I'm not bitter.
What do you guys want to talk about? Obviously not Destiny 2.
I want to talk about the Nintendo Direct, but Tyler's not here, so.
Well,
I mean,
did Tyler even watch it?
No, but it'd be cool to tell him everything and he'd be all like, oh my god.
But it's also the situation of he actually doesn't have a Switch.
Yeah, exactly. So we could talk him into getting one.
Or we just talk about it now?
I mean, maybe.
And then we can talk.
What are you talking about now?
Well,
Can we
maybe.
talk about, what's that game I played? I played a game. I played a game this week, guys.
Well, wow, that's really cool.
Oh! Can we talk about Blair Witch?
Oh, okay.
I haven't played it yet.
It's fucking interesting. I'm
Sorry.
really down for it. So basically, the whole game starts off, and you're playing as what I'm assuming from the context of it is you at one point were a cop, and you no longer are due to something that happened. But I think it was something traumatic.
I thought you were like a person, like a private investigator or something.
Well, so like, you know everyone at the police station. Everyone knows you. At one point, this is all very early on, so this isn't getting into spoiler territory. But you go down to the police station, and you pick up, or the police chief gives you a dog, and is like, "Hey, this is a canine unit. He works really well for people with anxiety. So like, why don't you take him home?" And then you go through and you call up, and the whole point of the game is it starts where there's a boy missing in the woods from Blair Witch. Nick, what's the name of the town from Blair Witch? Do a fact check for me. Well, he's doing that.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I can definitely look it up. Yeah.
Salem.
No. But so in the town that you're in, if you've seen the Blair Witch, the whole thing is that the Blair Witch is in the woods. Due to a whole thing that's explained in the first 3 movies, whatever.
It takes place in Montgomery County, Maryland.
But what's the name of the woods? They have an actual name, like something Burrow or
The town is Burkittsville.
Burkittsville, the Burkittsville Woods. So, a young boy went missing, so the police are investigating. So you go out there to join the police force, and you end up stealing another officer's walkie-talkie out of his car that was meant for another officer, and you literally pick it up and are like, "Oh, sorry, Chuck, this is mine now." And you get on the radio and you're like, "Hey, officer or chief so and so," and he's like, "What are you doing out here?" And you're like, "I'm here to help." And he's like, "You don't have anything else to prove. Like, you don't need to be out here." And he's like, "No, I got to do this. I got to set things right." And the chief's like, "Whatever, you can help out, but just stay on the back end and tell us if you find anything." And then as you go further and further into the woods, you start getting trapped by things. Like, so it's like, "Oh, hey, like I was headed over here and I heard a noise and then I fell down a little like ravine thing, yeah, and then okay, now I'm further in the woods. How do I get out? Okay, I'm gonna find a way out, so I'm gonna go this way." And then as you start going through the woods, stuff starts changing. So like at one point you find a World War II bunker, and like the police, you're still talking to the police chief, and he's like, "What are you talking about? There's no war bunkers out here." And you're like, "Yeah, there's a war bunker right here. Like I'm looking at it." And he's like, "Where the hell are you?" Then you go further and you're like, "Oh, I found a campsite that has a bunch of stuff at it." And the police chief's like, "The campsite's completely empty. There was no one over there. We were just there." And he's like, "No, that's where I'm at right now." And like that's when shit starts getting really crazy, and then that's where I stopped playing. But it has a very interesting combat system where
There's combat?
there is and there isn't.
To an extent.
So it reminds me of Alan Wake, where if you ever played Alan Wake, why is that game not available for purchase on Xbox anymore? By the way, I cannot get
Music rights.
No, they fixed that. Remedy?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Remedy came out and said, "Hey, we fixed it last October. We're going to be uploading, re-adding Alan Wake to the Xbox Live Store very soon. Stay tuned. We're very excited." It's been a year and there's been no more developments. I've sent them 3 tweets and they won't respond to me. So I have no idea what's going on with that game. But anywho, so when you're in the woods, there are some creature is attacking you. But the way it works is the dog will basically find the creature because it runs very fast and then it's almost like hard to see. It's almost like camouflage, so it's hard to see as it's running. And the dog will find it, so it will trail it and start barking in its direction. So you have to look in its direction. If you shine your flashlight at it, it hurts it. So the longer that the flashlight is shining on the creature, it hurts the creature. But you're doing this in pitch black, so it's all you have is your flashlight. So you've got a dog running around you chasing this creature, and you have to keep up with the dog while it's attacking you. Hi, puppy. I love you. There's a puppy sniffing my leg.
Yeah, just like a game.
Exactly. She's like, I heard puppy. But it's very fun so far. It also has a mechanic in it that I haven't seen before. Probably it's in something, but I have not seen it before. Where as you're going, because it's Blair Witch, you keep finding old camcorder tapes that you keep putting into your camcorder that you find, and then as you're watching stuff that happened, like at one point you're like, you see the kid that's missing running through the woods, and he has a baseball, and like he does something, I don't remember, he throws the baseball or something. It's like a trail, so like, oh, you can find me. But if you're going through and like fast forwarding and reversing, if you stop on the point where, oh, okay, here he left the baseball, you can find the baseball. But if you go beforehand and he hasn't dropped the baseball yet on the video, the baseball's not in the world. So like you have to manipulate the video to the time point where the baseball's there, so you can find the baseball, so that the dog can sniff the baseball to find the boy.
Huh.
So there's a lot of mechanics of like you have to go. I mean, even to the point of there's one where you're watching a tape and in front of you there's a car. And there's a giant tree laying on top of the car. But if you find the tape, if you look at the tape, you can reverse time so that the tree hadn't fallen yet. So now you can get into the car. So there's a lot of like time manipulation involved, and it's a really cool game. If you have Game Pass, it is included for free. So if you have Xbox Game Pass, definitely check it out. I also had some strange issues with my Xbox One X this week.
Like,
You have an Xbox One X, do you? Have an X? Okay. So, I went from an original Xbox to the X, and the whole point is you're supposed to unplug your hard drive, plug it in that has all your games installed, plug it into the new hard drive, you're good. That's all you have to do. That literally is the video on the Xbox dashboard says, like, unplug and replug, and you're good to go. I did that, and none of my games could find my DLC. So Destiny 2 was like, you don't own Forsaken, you don't own Curse of Osiris, you don't own any of that. Sims 4 was like, you don't have any expansions. So like, I loaded up my save in Sims 4, and it was like, oh, you don't own this, so we're taking this away. And like, it literally was like popping up and was like, the bed you bought is exclusive to this copy of Sims, and you don't have that. So we're gonna take it away. So like, all my shit was just so I literally ended up having to uninstall 4 terabytes of games. And then now I'm slowly reinstalling them. So now I only have like 3 games on my Xbox right now. I told it to reinstall Master Chief Collection, and that's been a 2-day process.
so apparently it hasn't been put back on yet, but I guess they this last June teased doing an HD remaster re-release for Xbox One and PS4.
Gotcha. Because it came out on the Epic Store, and it was free on the Epic Store. If I missed that, I'm going to be so pissed.
I probably missed it. Not logging the Epic Store enough.
Oh, I never do. I literally, the only time I get on the Epic Store is to look and be like, oh, here's a free game this week.
Every week?
Because right now, Celeste and Insider are free, and on September 5th is when it resets. So it's 2 free games every week. So 8 free games a month.
Redneck said
That right
she
there.
tried playing Blair Witch last night and got lost.
I got lost in the game?
Got lost in the woods.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah. The biggest thing I would say with and again, if you've seen Blair Witch, I mean, it makes sense that they did it this way, but at the same time, it's very difficult to find where you're going because everything looks the same.
Makes sense.
And there's also stuff where, like, so there was one path I was walking, and I'm walking, and it branches off and comes back around, I think. The problem is, you pick a path, and then you start messing around over here, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to go back the other way. And then you come back this way, and you're like, shit, which way did I go? So then you're just wandering around, and you're like, I don't know where I am. And it really is I'm going to use the term lightly, open world woods experience. So it's not like,
Like Tomb Raider?
Yeah. So it's not like, oh, here's a path, follow the path, and this is where you go.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just here in the woods. Have fun.
You can get lost, and then it's like, what the fuck do I do? So the one thing I will, the one tip that I would give is keep having the dog search for things, because the dog will find where you're supposed to be going. I think you're supposed to use the dog as a guide.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I kept telling him, like, hey, boy, like, go look for something, and he would come running back and be like, oh, I found something, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm going to go that way.
Like Sparks and
Yeah.
Spyro.
I need to buy that, too. I feel like I'm the only one talking. Somebody else talk for a minute.
No, that's cool. I hadn't played it yet. I kind of.
I was gonna say I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
It's
I've
pretty good.
I've
I heard you
wanted
like
to play
survival horror. I mean, that's, and I know you do.
Yeah.
You're the one that got me into survival horror.
Oh no!
But I don't say
Resident
it's.
Evil is probably my favorite.
That's right.
video
We
game
were
franchise.
just talking about this
Yeah.
twice today.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that now.
wrong, Tolly?
Can you just get an app for that? Or no, you're on the website.
Yeah, I'm on the website. I'm on the website. I'm on the website. I can't see what games I own though.
What was I gonna say?
Well, I guess I can just look up Alan Wake, right?
I'm trying to remember what all I've played this week.
Yeah.
Besides
So
Destiny
the
2,
Next week is The End Is Nigh and Abzu.
Yeah.
Abzu.
Both of those games are free next week, starting on the 5th. I guess this week. Trevor Saves the Universe on sale again.
Nice.
What have I been playing?
I know you've been playing. What's it called? PUBG.
Yeah, I've been playing that again. Getting back into that. Vicious Cycle. Oh no, basically I've been playing PUBG. Started playing Rainbow Six again.
Did you?
Yeah, I haven't touched it for a while.
Honestly, that's something I haven't heard you talk about in a while.
Yeah, no, it's still really, really good. It's just you kind of want to play with a squad of people on that because a lot of people just don't make great decisions in that game.
I do own it. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
What?
I've never
I
played
did
Alan
get
Wake.
Alan Wake.
Nice.
It is a game that I love. 3 times. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good actually.
Alan Wake is a brilliant game because of the writing. So it basically plays like it is a game where you play as an author who writes horror novels. So you're basically playing as Stephen King. Like, I mean, even like the actual writing style, the narration of the game sounds like it's written by Stephen King. So he has writer's block, and he's like, I need to get away. So his wife is like, hey, let's just go out to this, rent this cabin. We'll go out and it'll help you write, it'll help you, get past your writer's block. So you go out, but then while you're there, you start finding pages of a book that sounds like you wrote it, and as you read it, it sounds like your voice, but you don't remember writing it. And there's this impending, okay, the darkness is coming, and the only tool you have is, well, not the only tool, so you have a gun, but the shadows can't be harmed unless they're in light. So you have to use a flashlight to target them. Once they are vulnerable, then you can shoot them. So it's a double mechanic there.
Okay, so then that leads me to another question.
Okay.
Because you keep describing a game that I have played, but it wasn't Alan Wake, and I'm trying to find who makes this.
Can you describe it? Like using more descriptive words than what Joe specifically said.
I just want to see who makes it. I know
Who makes...
Atari, Darkworks, and Spyro House something. So I played this game back in the Dizzy called Alone in the Dark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Wait,
Hold on. The one thing I will say, that makes me feel old.
Oh yeah, I played this
When-
one game back in the day called Alone in the Dark.
Alone in the Dark was one of the largest survival horror franchises back in the day. It was up there with like Resident Evil and Silent Hill for how popular it was. And
After
then they made a
4?
shit film, and then a very shit game,
Yeah.
and then nobody remembers.
Well, this
Alone in
one-
the Dark. It's gone. Yes, that's specifically the one we used to have. New Nightmare.
Yeah, New Nightmare was fucking
Is
amazing.
that New
Yeah,
Nightmare?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's
game.
that's
Brilliant.
that's
That was
yeah,
the
that's
first
really
survival horror game I ever played.
that's 4.
So
that,
good.
that one stressed. That one
Yeah.
stressed me. Like I played
Yes.
Resident Evil, and this one stressed me out more.
So it was actually pretty funny. I specifically bought that game and went to go play it, and our computer couldn't run it, but my mom's computer could. So we basically
I
had
have
to
no idea what you're talking about.
Alone in the Dark.
Yeah.
When I bought it, it wouldn't work on our PC, but it worked on Mom and
I
Kate's
played
PC.
it on our PC.
On the HP?
What are you talking about?
On the Hewlett Packard.
No, the FiO.
Yes, I'm saying at Mom's house is why I originally bought it. It wouldn't work on our Hewlett Packard. So
I'm
convinced
considering our PC was the BIO is what I'm considering.
right.
'Cause that was the first computer. That,
Eventually,
like,
it got put over there.
yeah,
But
that's the first computer that I remember going, "Holy shit, this is top of the line."
yes,
Like it was like, oh, here's like a computer that can like type Word documents and stuff, and like we would play some games like the Lego
Right,
racing. And
but
stuff.
Mom and Keith
Didn't
bought
remember.
their computer, and it could actually run alone in the
played
dark.
on that one.
Yes,
I wasn't allowed to play on that computer.
that was my point.
I was told to stay off.
But yeah, so
The first thing I did on that computer was I went through and we had a brand new scanner. So it was a printer, scanner, copier.
oh god,
Fucking top of the line. Never, like, we were like, look at this piece of machinery. The first thing I did was I scanned in all of my Pokemon cards for some reason. Don't know why. And each file was like 600 megabytes, which was huge at the time. No, it's like 60 megabytes maybe. The long story short, I filled up like the entire hard drive with just Pokemon cards. So our stepdad got on there and was like, what the fuck is all of this? And he was just like, why is this computer out of memory? I bought it yesterday. And I was like, no, look, all my Pokemon cards are in the computer. And he was like, why? And I was like, because I can do it. Look. Look what I did. I did a thing.
No, I didn't realize that had so many games.
Yeah.
Because I played Resident
So
Evil.
there's 5 or 6 in that
I-
series.
This is the only one I'd ever played.
That's, I think, the only one that I've actually played as well.
what New
But
Nightmare?
I played
New
it-
Nightmare, I think, is the only one I played.
But
I
I-
bought the 360 version.
Did you play it on computer?
Yeah.
PC.
We
Yep.
played it on
Oh,
PC.
I played it on
was sick.
Dreamcast.
Correct.
Yes.
All I remember is the first thing.
How
is
many
involved
discs
with
did it have
dog.
on Dreamcast?
Like 4.
Yeah,
It
Okay.
it was like 3 on PC.
I was
three or
gonna say it was
four.
like 3 or 4 on PC. So
Sorry.
Nothing. I remember that being 3 and 4, and the other one, kind of in that same kind of genre, was Parasite Eve.
Yes.
Parasite.
Oh,
And I remember some about that game.
this is
Not
what. Oh, I'm excited to talk about old horror games. I'm
because
so
why are you so?
I had an issue with my horror games this week, but finish what you were gonna say first.
Oh no, I was just saying. I'm just trying to remember all the stuff that was kind of similar to that. But I liked Resident Evil so much that like I played those. It's just, but I was always like, I'm gonna play Resident Evil.
See, my issue is, and I don't get me wrong, I love Resident Evil. It was just, I guess it was just what I played and what I kind of clung to.
Mm-hmm.
Is people talk about early survival horror, and a lot of people mention Resident Evil, but for me, it's Silent Hill. Like that's just where I go. That game is just brilliant to me.
I don't know. I think it's because I was younger. I could play anything except for if it had like graphic like sex scenes or things like that.
Yeah.
But I think it was maybe because it was portrayed as like too scary.
Mhm.
Like it was more focused on like the almost like the jump scares. Resident Evil was like
Yes.
survival horror.
I would say, yeah, no, like Resident Evil.
I don't know,
Silent Hill is full on. I know that first fucking.
The first
That first-
dog jumping through the
Oh.
fucking window is the
In Resident
first.
Evil.
When people say Resident Evil,
Yeah.
that's my first thought, and that is one of the biggest jump scares ever in a
Yeah.
game.
Well, okay, but what I'm saying is
That
like,
and the first zombie when you first walk in, and you walk in and you go to that room to the left, and as soon as you
Yeah.
go in, there's just a corpse and then just a zombie eating it, and I was just like, what the fuck?
it takes like all your ammo to kill that one zombie.
Yeah. The one thing I will say that I thought was cool with Silent Hill though is you've at least seen it played it? The original?
Not the original.
Okay. So Silent Hill is a game that one of the things that makes that game so intriguing is it has fog everywhere so that you cannot see more than about 5-10 feet out ahead of you.
Something like that. I'm gonna
Is
pull
it fixed,
this.
It's
I'm gonna
fixed
pop this
camera
out.
angles, right?
Yes. It's been a long time since I played it, but yes, it is.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep up on chat, but I keep getting distracted by other stuff, so I'm shortening this out and moving some stuff around. Brittany wanted to say Gears drops tomorrow, by the way.
It does drop tomorrow,
And then-
only if you're a Game Pass subscriber.
True.
No, it doesn't drop till Friday, the 6th. We're on Wednesday. It comes
Oh,
out
I don't
Friday.
know. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I
So the Ultimate Edition,
I thought Ultimate
get it on
Edition and
6th.
Game Pass you get. Oh, you get it on the 6th, so it's in
Yeah.
2 days.
but you made like
No.
we're giving it out early.
Because you get it Friday,
Today's the
Saturday,
4th.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
I
So
said
you
you
get
get
it
it
5 days
in
early.
2 days.
Yes, I thought you were saying 2 days early. I was gonna say
Dude.
no. You get it 5 days early, which is honestly pretty cool.
What was I gonna say? Also, do you know what Dakota Kendall?
Yes.
He says, "Hey, do you guys want any suggestions for new games and apps?
Hey, absolutely.
Always take new suggestions."
Um,
But anyway,
I
sorry.
don't know if you know
Sorry.
Tiffany. Katie and I had a really close friend in high school, Tiffany. Dakota is married to Tiffany, and I work with Dakota. So,
Gotcha. Cool.
At a place that I won't mention. Target. No, real quick, not to backtrack, but what I was saying though with the fog in Silent Hill is what makes that game so scary is the fog, and it makes it very hard to see anything. The reason for the fog wasn't, hey, we're gonna make fog and like it's gonna be really cool and you can't see anything. The game was so graphically intensive at the time that you literally couldn't see past like 5-10 feet ahead of you because the game couldn't load that. So it's all like, oh, look at this really cool fog and you can't see anything. It's literally just the PlayStation couldn't keep up with the game and was just not loading stuff, and it made a really cool effect, and they were just like, fuck it. I'm really mad though. So I went through and looked, there's 10 releases in the Silent Hill game collection. There's 10 releases. I think it equals out to like 8 games, 2 re-releases.
Okay.
So, because it's
8 games total.
Correct. I had all of them. Don't know where the fuck they are. I've spent the last like 3 weeks looking for them. I can't find them. I had every game.
The first one was on original PlayStation.
First one's on PlayStation.
What's Silent Hill 2?
Silent Hill 2 is on both PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
And PC.
What's it called?
And PC. Silent Hill 2.
Okay.
Then there was Silent Hill 3, which was only on PS2. Then you had Silent Hill 4, The Room.
That's the one I
which
played.
was on Xbox, PS2,
I
and
played that on
PC.
Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5 is, don't tell me, Silent Hill Homecoming. Yes. 6 was Silent Hill
Memories?
Downpour. No.
Downpour.
Downpour.
I thought Origins was out before Downpour.
There you go. That's what the one I was forgetting.
Okay.
So Silent Hill 6? Is that what I said?
I think
So
6 was
is
Origins.
which is a prequel to the whole thing.
7's Downpour.
7 is Downpour. 8 is
Homecoming.
No, Homecoming's 5. It's 5. It's Homecoming.
I mean,
Origins,
not Homecoming. The
Shattered Memories.
Thank you.
Say, but Shattered Memories is a remake of the original game. It's a retelling, so it is not just like a HD remaster. It is a full retelling.
So it's the same story, but it's done in a
They
completely
have
different
changed
way
stuff.
because
Yes.
they introduce choices,
Yes.
and based on the choices you make, dictate where the story goes.
That was one of the first
So-
games that I remember
so it's like-
actually seeing that. Because
Yeah.
that was on PS2.
And that's like a weird, like, almost like if Telltale made a Silent Hill game,
Yeah.
but not as
But I mean,
not as choice driven.
To the point where in between missions, you were actually taking a psychiatry appointment. How are you going to say that? You're talking to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist is like, "Oh, that must have been really crazy, blah blah blah." And then you told me this. Okay, well, look at these and tell me what you see. And like, he'll show you a picture, and then like, okay, you have 4 choices. What do you see? You gotta go, and you're actually taking like psychiatry courses, and while doing
It's
that,
it's
the game is-
psychoanalyzing you, and
the game is learning from you and saying, this is what scares you, we're going to do more of this. Or this is what you don't like, okay, let's do more.
Yeah.
And, like, it changes.
it
all
fucks
that.
with you.
So, that's probably kind of where the inspiration they got for Until Dawn. Then.
Most likely.
Possibly.
Which is pretty good. Which
What the new game from
I
them?
want to play it so bad.
Yeah.
Man of Medan,
Yeah, Man of Medan.
Yeah, and
which is part 1
what's
of
her
the Dark
face?
Philosophy.
Dark Pictures Anthology.
Dark Pictures Anthology, that's it.
what the fuck
There's
is her
supposed to be
name?
a new game coming out every 6 months, is what they've promised.
Gavin's girlfriend,
Meg Turney.
Meg Turney, has been streaming that nonstop all week.
It's supposed to be great.
I want to just
I've heard really bad
pause the
reviews
conversation
on it,
for
but
a
I've
real
heard
quick
good-
moment.
I've heard critic reviews. I've heard good player reviews. Critic reviews are apparently they've said that you really don't get to care about the characters. Like they don't do anything to make you care whether they live or
It kinda
die.
sucks.
So that was the one major thing I saw there. gameplay, though, they've said is very promising. It also is their first attempt at this style. So, I mean, obviously they did Until Dawn, but this is the first time that they've tried a 5-player cooperative story that can be played either couch co-op online, or you just play it yourself and play all 5 characters, and then intertwine it into, a 6 to 8 hour game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's their first attempt. They've got plenty more coming. I think it looks great.
100% agree.
My only downside was I misunderstood what it was, and I thought the entire anthology was coming out on the same day.
Oh no!
I didn't originally look into it, so I heard like, "Oh, Man of Medan, it's part of the anthology that they're doing," and every time you play the game, it's something different. I didn't realize they were saying every time you play part of the anthology, not Man of Medan. So I was like watching reviews, and I was like, "Well, they're only showing one story here. Like, where's the rest of it?" And then I did research. And was like, oh, okay, this is like a 4-year plan. Every 6 months is a new game, so like 8 games.
Right.
That's ambitious as shit.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to derail the conversation. Who here plays Tekken?
I have not played Tekken in ages.
Do you know who Leroy Smith is? Well, I just found a picture. Apparently, Leroy Smith is a character from Tekken, and this last weekend was Dragon Con.
Okay.
I
forgot that was this week.
T-Pain went to Dragon Con cosplaying as Leroy Smith from Tekken, and it's a really good cosplay. It's
fucking T-Pain.
I mean, it's actually like,
holy shit, that's nice, and I do know him. Yes,
that's kind of ridiculous.
That's insane.
That's kind of funny. Also, apparently there's a new website now. Those whole those things where it's like on this day, and then Facebook will be like on this day this happened, and this day this happened, and then like retro memories and stuff like that you've posted. There's a new website where it links the top videos that were posted on that day 10 years ago.
That's kind of cool.
So it like goes through all of YouTube and finds the most popular videos
from 10 years
ago.
There's always 10 years?
For that day. Specifically 10 years, yes.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like you set like, oh, go back 5 years and then like...
No, it's set to 10.
Gotcha. Can we talk about how fucking great the He-Man video is? Or however you want to call it?
Yeah.
They played that song the other day by, what is it? 3 Non Blondes?
Yeah.
They played that song the other day, and all I can think of is that video, and that is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life.
That's pretty.
That's up there with Dr. Tran.
Dr. Tran has a chat with a Mormon child.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've never seen Dr. Tran?
Dr. Tran is like transcendent.
Oh my god, we're showing him Dr. Tran
Like,
after
Dr. Tran is like transsexual. You've never seen Dr. Tran.
Dr. Tran.
I'm gonna have to bust your Dr. Tran cherry.
How do I explain? I don't even want to explain.
No, you should just go into it blind.
It's an experience.
It's great. It's
There's,
great.
What, 3 of them?
Something like
Here
that.
comes Dr. Tran. Dr. Tran goes to the toy store.
Toy
and
store!
The one Leland loves his vapor trails.
Yeah.
And then the one with the gum.
The one with the gum. There's the kiddie pool.
I don't know if I ever saw that one.
Oh yeah.
I
Like
know
there's like
Dr.
7 or 8.
Tran's great. I am so excited for you to see this video because you're just not gonna. Oh, it's great.
I love Dr. Tran. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, continue. I'm going through and looking at like new news stories and stuff like that. I will say, speaking of Alan Wake, I've heard so many great things about Control, and apparently there's also a lot of Alan Wake references
Nice.
in Control.
My issue. Oh, that's what I was gonna say with Alan Wake. I got way off topic. So with Alan Wake, I've played the game 5 times.
Okay.
I've never gotten past chapter like 3. I'll sit down and play it, and I'm just like, this game's great, and I'll play up to about chapter 3. And it feels like the problem with the game is it has this thing where it's like, okay, you're gonna play, and you think in your head like, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna play like 10 hours, I'm gonna just play this game. But then you get to this one point in the game, which is about chapter 3, maybe it's chapter 4, where it kind of does like a flashback, and then you play through like a flashback, so there's nothing really horror going on. It kind of feels like a good, like, I'll take a break here. Like, it feels like a checkpoint. So I stopped playing. And then, like, 6 months later, I'm like, oh shit, I should play Alan Wake. And I'm like, I don't remember what was going on, so I'll restart it. And I get to that checkpoint, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take a break. But I never go back to this game. There's something about that game. I've never gotten past that same checkpoint. It's the same point every time. I've never gotten past it. It's a great game, though. That I've never beaten.
Apparently, somebody has also just did a mashup video that they uploaded. It's Back to the Future, but all of the sound effects are taken from Half-Life.
That's interesting. I've never played Half-Life. Everyone's always like Half-Life.
Half-Life 1 is one of the best games I've ever played, and Half-Life 2.
Is it still though?
I'm saying I mean I would absolutely play the shit out of it.
That's like saying Super Mario Brothers 1 is the greatest game I've ever played. It
I said
may have been in the 80s.
Well, here's my thing. From the perspective of they remade it as Black Mesa, but
Which never came out.
They've been releasing it episodically, everything up to.
But I mean, that game, Black Mesa started coming out 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Know. But
I was in high school when Black Mesa started coming out.
The first 3/4 of the game has been out, and that is still a blast to play.
3/4.
Yeah.
There's still 2 more games to go after this one.
Well, I mean, they're just.
Well, technically, I mean, you got Half-Life 2, Half-Life
2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really like it.
I need to play them, but at the same time, I'm just like, we're never getting 3, so why even bother?
That's kind of, yeah. Kind of have to agree with that.
Oh, 2. I was thinking if I ever rolled a 3, I'd be like, Half-Life 3 confirmed. 3!
Do you want to go ahead and talk about the Nintendo Direct?
I'm ready. If you guys want to talk about it, like I literally took notes.
Well, there's gonna be quite a bit to go over.
So this is a single press conference. So I feel like we can go note by note because we're not doing 18 press conferences. The first thing to talk about is Overwatch coming to the Switch. I'm very excited for this.
I'm indifferent.
You're not an Overwatch fan?
It's
No,
alright.
Overwatch
I
fan
like-
is just like, oh, I already have it on everything else. So why
That's
do I need
where
it on
I'm at.
Another thing?
No, I would never play.
Overwatch portably.
I would never play it on the Switch though,
Why?
because I feel like because it's so competitive and fast paced that like it'd be trying to play
Rainbow Six Siege on a Switch.
Okay, again, don't see the issue with that.
because there's like pixels make the difference and lag and problems. It's not like a powerful console.
Okay, this is my only thing. Most likely there's no crossplay.
True.
So everyone's at the same disadvantage.
True. Unless one person's playing on their PC, on their TV. That was what I was trying to say, because that you get the help with the
So
dock.
you're talking about the fact of like, oh, I'm playing handheld. Do you not play
Yeah.
dock? Normally,
No,
I know a lot of people that don't.
most of the time I use my Switch is because I'm not home,
Gotcha.
or like so,
Well-
like I'm here.
Another thing is then, well, and like here it makes sense. But if it's like, oh, hey, I'm gonna like be out or something like that, you may not have Wi-Fi. So then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, I just bought this game that I can't play because I
yeah.
don't have internet right now.
Correct.
I'll give you that.
That was what I'm gonna get to because it's online only. So yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's definitely a great option for people that don't have a PS4, PC, or Xbox One. They're just only Nintendo, but it's just something that I wouldn't personally.
My thing is, I cannot just go straight one console. I don't know why. I just can't do it mentally. I'm like, I have to have it all because what if something comes out for something else? Obviously, I've always been a huge Xbox fanboy, but damn, do I love Nintendo. If I had to pick one system, I could only have one system for the rest of my life, I would have to stick with Nintendo's console. I have more fun on their systems than I do anywhere else. Like, they may not necessarily be like the best like story-driven games, and it may not be like this big. I may not have this revelation of like, oh, like my whole life I look at it differently now because of this game that I played. But damn, do I have fun?
I know what you mean. I mean, of the consoles I play, the one right now I'm playing the most is my Switch.
Is it?
That's just because if I'm gonna play any kind of like shooters or anything like that, I'm gonna play on PC. But like once Last of Us 2 comes out, I don't care anything else.
Exactly my
It's
point when I
like,
refer to something that will change your life.
like, yeah, I don't
Apparently,
care.
the storyline of that game is just heartbreaking.
I still can't believe that you nerds haven't played it.
I did the same thing with it that I did with Alan Wake.
There's,
I beat the
how
first
do you-
chapter and I'm like, that was great.
How do
I'm
you
gonna come
stop-
back to this tomorrow.
how do you
that I
stop
just never
playing
do.
the game?
Because there's this break where it's, oh, okay, all this intense stuff happened, and then it's like, oh, 5 years later, 2 years later, or whatever, and then I'm like,
It's
oh,
like 20
cool.
minutes into the game.
I get that. For whatever reason in my brain, I'm like, break time. Let's go watch a TV show. Okay. Ready to go? Next thing?
Sure.
Okay, next thing I have very little notes on because I was too busy watching it. We got a lot more information on Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this game because it's literally like, what if? And I know obviously Luigi's Mansion's been a thing for a long time, but this one specifically just looks to me of like, what if Disney or Nintendo took a crack at like Disney's Haunted Mansion?
Yep.
I
100% see that.
I want it so bad because I already love Mario. I love Disney.
My
I love
only
Haunted
thing is,
Mansion. It's not actually partnered with Disney. I keep
I've
saying
never
Disney's
played a single other Luigi's Mansion game, so I want to
The
go
first one
through
is
and play
so
it.
good. The second one is okay. I have an issue with the second one because it's very objective. Like, what's up?
There's not. Shoot me for saying this. I don't
Okay.
care. There's not really a ton of story.
There isn't. It's not. Yeah, I will give
You
you that.
don't really
It's
need
not
to
like-
play the first two.
Yes.
True.
The
It was
only
really
thing
almost-
the only thing is when I first started playing Luigi's Mansion, I jumped in on 2. I played Dark Moon first. That was the first one I played. And when I started playing it, the only reason I decided to go back and play Luigi's Mansion 1 first was because the only thing you need to know is they introduce a character, and I don't remember his name right now, but he's the scientist in the game. But Doctor, it's like Egad. So he
Dr.
shows up and he's like, "Hey, Luigi, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Like, have you been since our last adventure?" And I was like, "Last adventure? I want to play the other adventure first." So then I went back and played the first one. But yeah, there's like no story at all. It's just go to this room, clear the or the ghost. Go to this room, clear the ghost. Go to this
Yeah.
room.
Mario
So
gets
this
captured.
one looks like it might actually have more story. Not
Yeah.
a lot, but like it looks like it has more. I mean,
Yeah.
there's cutscenes.
Yeah. No, I think it's just also that the cool aspect is the local multiplayer with
Yes.
Luigi. That was pretty cool, and then also just using him
That's
to
up
solve
to 8
puzzles.
player local.
For the
So
Scarecraper
2
mode.
to 8. No, like with
And
you're talking in game.
I'm talking about this like the mode, like the regular story mode.
Okay, I was gonna say because they announced a new mode tonight. I can't remember what they called
Yeah,
it.
it was the
it's-
competitive mode.
But well, I was gonna say because
it's Screen Park.
Screen Park.
Yeah.
Where it's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody
Scarecraper
has
is
to try.
It's like up to 8 players working together, trying to clear all the ghosts on the floor and beat the time or whatever.
Yes, but
And then
Screen
Screen Park is the
Park
one that's
is-
the competitive, like, okay, us two versus you two versus you two
Yes.
versus you two.
That was the part I thought was cool that they're doing up to 8 player though. And then they had some other mini games where it was like, what was the one? It was I don't remember now. I'll have to look at the video again. It was something about like, oh hey, like you guys go through and like try to find coins like in this like hidden pond and like there was like weird mini games in it where it was like it kind of looks like a mini Mario Party.
Yeah, I was
kind of
gonna say
like,
it looks almost like a Mario Party
set in Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
But it only had like 3 mini games, but
Yeah.
So that looks very good. Next up we have new Kirby. It's called Super Kirby Clash. Looks very good. It is free to start. So
Yeah, I'm
you
not sure
can-
how much you get with that for
Yeah, I was kind of confused by that. But
It's
4-player.
probably gonna be like, here's the demo. Start it. Okay, it's time to buy the game. That's what I see on it. Is it's probably
Yeah.
gonna be like,
Doesn't
here's the
it
first
kinda, like,
world and
Outfitted yourself with like weapons and armor or something like that. It was
Yeah.
like, kind of weird. I was like, that's interesting. It's kind of cool, but I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. But yeah, if there's a demo, I'll give it a shot. At least see what it is.
agreed.
The customization kind of intrigued me.
Yeah. And then I think it said it had a 4-player co-op. I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
That was cool. After that was we're getting a remake of Trials of Mana.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good.
Which that was announced a while back.
it was, but
Wait,
it looked pretty.
help me here. So the collection of mana came out on the 27th,
Yes.
and that's all the retro style.
That is the
games.
original games.
Those are retro.
Yes.
Well, like 8-bit, 16-bit, everything like that. So, Trials of Mana. This was a game already made, and this is a remaster.
Yes, this is a remake of Trials of Mana 1.
Remake or remaster?
It specifically said remake.
Okay.
So, because
It's
Trials of
basically
Mana,
the story of the first one, but made with today's graphics.
Correct.
So
It's
kinda
not
they did
like,
with
hey,
Resident
we
Evil.
took it and upscaled it. It's
Like Resident Evil 2. They
We're
did this year
completely
in, like, February.
rebuilding it from the ground up using the script, basically.
correct, and this one also this was one of the ones that you can swap back and forth between old school and new school
I
graphics,
forgot they did
which
show
is
that.
really weird because new school it plays as a 3D JRPG, old school it is a top-down 2D RPG.
But that's the same thing that Dragon Quest XI's doing,
Right.
which I thought is very cool. We'll get to that in a little bit later.
What's the
Go ahead.
what's the Mana one that just came out?
It's the Collection of Mana.
Collection of Mana.
Collection.
Because it's Trials of Mana 1 and 2.
So there's 3 games.
Maybe it's 1, 2, and 3.
There's
I
3
thought it was
games.
1 and 2 were in the collection. I could be wrong.
So
Might
the
be right.
collection.
That would kind of terrible name of collection and put only 2 games in it. I thought there was 3 games. Almost positive.
You could be right. Between the two of us, which one works in the industry?
3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, 4, 1. 7.
Nick is killing me with the anticipation.
I'm trying to figure it out.
That could not be that hard. Shannon, rap for a bit.
Yeah.
Here, I'll just do this. Collection of Mana.
Trials of Mana collection includes. That's really weird because it was on the thing and then I clicked it. Now it's not doing it.
So it is Final Fantasy Adventure,
Oh.
Mystic Quest, and Secrets of Mana, and then Trials of Mana is about to come out.
Yes.
So that'll put it at 4 all day. So in the collection there's 3, and then the new one's about to come out, so that'll put it at 4 grand
Okay.
total.
Yeah, so 3 in the game.
One of them being.
Oh
Trials of
no!
Mana.
Final Fantasy Adventure, Mystic Quest, and Secrets of Mana are playable in English. Trials of Mana is playable in English as well. So all 4.
Because Trials of Mana is also available in Spanish, which the other 3 are not, but the other 3 are available in French and German.
Right. But those are the original. This is an HD remake. If that makes sense. So the Trials of Mana he was just talking about that hasn't come out yet is going to be a 3D remake of
Yes.
Trials of Mana.
Yes.
They just put Trials of Mana on a Switch.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
That's the main difference with that.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is. Wait.
But wait, there's more.
So Final Fantasy Adventure and Mystic
This is
Quest are the
deep,
same game.
Gotcha.
So there's still only 3 in that game. It's Final Fantasy Adventure / Mystic Quest, Secret of Mana, Trials of Mana.
Only any of these games did not come out when I was 3. After that, we have the Return of Oberdin. Very little do I know
I'm actually,
about this game.
yeah, but I'm still kind of excited for it.
I must have been looking down. I was probably in the Switch store at the time.
This was
It's an
Oberdin.
old game. Who did this game? Is it the guy that did Papers, Please? This guy did another big game. Who was supposed to be doing Horror of the Orient?
Language.
I didn't name it. Because maybe it was that guy.
The Return of the Obra Dinn. Puzzle game published by 3909 LLC.
Don't know about that.
Japanese company ran
Really
by
guy.
Lucas Pope.
Go to that
Papers,
guy.
Please.
Papers, Please. Okay.
Pope's second commercial game following 2013's Papers, Please.
Looks very interesting. Basically, a ship has been missing for a long time. The Oberdin. It comes back, hence the return. And basically, a bunch of corpses are on the ship, and you can go through and essentially it looks like look at the corpses and then see what happened to them. So it kind of like takes you back in time.
So
And
you
plays through what happened to the crew of the Oberdin.
have like a stopwatch or a pocket watch. I mean, that is a
That's right,
memento
because it
mori.
said pocket watch. It controls time, and I thought of Tyler.
Yes, actually. But it's a memento
That's your
mori.
D&D campaign.
So like when you stare at the dead body, you can pull your watch out. It rewinds time, and you see their last few minutes while they were alive, and you have to piece together the mystery and solve the mystery of what happened to the crew.
Which is very interesting.
It does.
After that is a game I'm very excited about. It is the first game from Game Freak to not be in the Pokemon world. Little Town Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Looks very interesting. I'm excited for this game.
I'm kind of excited. It's
I should have taken more notes. I wrote a lot of titles down, and like that was all I wrote.
But a lot of this stuff is stuff that we already know about.
I know, but it was one of those like I was so busy watching it that now I'm like shit. I don't
Right.
know what all we
But
saw.
so this one, I mean, it plays like a
It's JRPG, but it looks like a
2.5
lot of, like,
D RPG. Like it doesn't look like an open world 3D RPG, but it looks like it looks like. I guess the best way to describe it is it looks like Pokemon if it was an action JRPG.
But the combat almost looks like rock paper scissors,
Mm.
where it was like, oh, like you can, like it was like punch, throw, or something, or jump, and then like based off of what you do, the other creature goes, and then whichever one like stabbing beat punching, but punching beats jumping, but jumping beats like, so it looked like a weird, like almost like a rock paper scissors style. It looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to see more on it. After that, they announced Banjo-Kazooie came out for Super Smash Brothers today.
Mm-hmm.
That launched today. They also showed off, which that is included in the, what's it called? Battle
Fighter
Pass? Fighter Pass. That is included in the Fighter Pass. That is the third character on the Fighter Pass.
Yes.
They announced the fourth character today is Terry from Fatal Fury. You knew who he was. You might have. I did not at all.
He looked familiar, but I definitely would not have been able to name what game he was from or what his name is. But yeah, so he's originally a character from Fatal Fury, but he's also in King of Fighters, which random thing I was scrolling through on Kotaku. Apparently, King of Fighters was actually just in the news not too long ago because it is the top grossing fighting game esport in Latin American countries.
Wow.
I believe it. I'd believe it. I've had specifically a lot of Hispanic people asking for that game. It's like kind of like how everybody here plays Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically that. There, it's really big. It's a really good game franchise. I'm trash.
And it's been around for years. But well, I mean, like they've even got like because they started re-releasing the original King of Fighter games on Switch.
I know that name. I wish I
Like
knew the name.
not updated in any way, shape, or
I
form.
gotta remember which one. I played one on the first PlayStation a lot.
Are you saying you played one on the
No,
PlayStation, or you played
like, I can't remember which one.
I- I-
King of Fighters. It was King of Fighters 99.
I was gonna say I think it was probably either King of Fighters 99 or 98
Yeah, I think it was 99.
because I know that there for a little bit, like in
It's
the
a red
late
disc
in the late 90s they were doing it seemed like almost once a year.
Other thing that they did announce is, so we still don't know who the fifth fighter is going to be in the Fighter Pass. However, after the Fighter Pass is done, they are still going to be releasing new characters that they had not talked about. So originally it
Correct.
seemed like 5 after the Battle Pass was done. No, the Fighter Pass was done. That was it. They were done with characters. Now they are saying that they are going to continue adding characters, which is making this game's roster just insane.
Yeah,
We're at what, 65, maybe 70 characters now?
something like that.
I mean, we've got to be close to that. It's just insane. After that was Link's Awakening. We got some more footage on that. Not much new. It was just more. Don't forget, it comes out in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Cannot wait for this game. After playing Breath of the Wild, fuck you. After playing Breath of the Wild, I want anything Zelda. I just want anything that has that name on it. I cannot
I
wait
still haven't played that game anymore.
at all.
No.
So good. It's so good. What?
so there was a new game that came out not so long ago called Remnant from the Ashes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep having people ask for it at work, and we
Yeah.
don't carry it. It's a digital.
Digital
only.
only, yeah.
Yeah,
But they don't get that. They're like, "Where's this game?" And I'm like, "We don't have it."
apparently one of the top rated reviews says it's like Dark Souls
Yep.
but with guns and without Dark Souls.
Yep.
That's
Should've
really
said Dark
funny.
Souls.
Sorry. Anyway,
After
continue.
that, sorry, I don't mean to keep going like quickly through this.
No.
But after that was Dragon Quest XI S. The
I
specific S
cannot
is the
fucking
fact
wait for that.
of
Huh?
Just finish that sentence though.
The S specifically is referring to the fact of, so not only is the entire game dubbed in English, so if you play it on PlayStation, it is dubbed in Japanese and then has English subtitles. It is completely dubbed in English on the Switch, and also you can jump back and forth between new graphics, which is a like third-person JRPG 3D, and old like top-down side-scrolling like look like the original Legend of Zelda like RPG. Very interesting how they're doing that, switching back and forth, because I think it'd be very difficult for the system going from, okay, here's the entire world and there's trees over here and we've got this. What the fuck? That's a tolly hair.
Well,
But
whatever gave you that idea.
going between like, oh, you know, here's trees over here and we've got like slime coming at you from over here and we got all this stuff, and then okay, now I'm top down and like you have like no detail to be able to show all of that. It would have to be difficult, but it's really cool that you can do that. I still feel like I wouldn't use it much. It'd be
Yeah.
more or less like I'll flip through and be like, oh, this looks kind of cool, and then like take a screenshot and head back into 3D.
Yeah.
The
Question.
demo, yes.
I can't remember for the life of me. Is this turn-based or is this an ARPG?
I am pretty sure it's turn. I am
90% sure it's
because it literally
turn-based.
goes through and like pops up and is like, you want to attack, you want to pick an item, do you want to like? It's not full on.
Okay.
The free demo for that is out right now. That's another thing, and so that came out today.
Because I own it on PS4. I've never played
Do you?
it, but
It's supposed to be great.
It is turn based.
After that, I'm gonna have to tap you in to pronounce this game because you pronounced it weird, and apparently you pronounced it correctly. I guess Tokyo Mirage Sessions
Sharp FE.
Sharp FE.
Yeah. As soon as he said that, I was like, "How the fuck do you get sharp from that?" And he was like, "It's sharp in music," and I was like,
I didn't see
yeah,
the
that's right.
sharp.
The-
I didn't.
So
see
so
that.
so so it was like an orb, but then it has the sharp.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was too busy trying to be like, what the fuck was the name of that game again? I have no idea what this game is. I again was too busy trying to type the name to see what it is. It looks like a weird music fighting
Yeah, rhythm-based.
rhythm based. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's
what
pretty-
it is. It's a remake from the Wii U.
Wii U. It was on the Wii U originally, but it has all the DLC and everything that came out, but it's all in one package for the Switch.
"Yep,
so.
yep."
Cool. Cool.
Interesting if you're into that stuff.
After that, Nick got excited. We have officially confirmed Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise is coming. Not only that, but today they dropped Deadly Premonition Origins, which is the first game on
And-
the Switch.
And I will say, looking at that, it looks like they didn't change too much. It looks like it's mostly just a direct port. Like the graphics really don't look that much better than the original. Which I'm still okay with. I'm one of the few people that actually thoroughly enjoy.
Swery?
What are you trying to say right now?
The guy's name that made the game.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
I
remember.
thought you were having a stroke there. for a
No,
second.
the guy that makes the game. I don't know if this was him. I don't know if it was Deadly Premonition or if he did Darkness. No, he didn't do Darkness. I think it was Deadly Premonition. But the guy that made D5. Dark Dreams Don't Die something.
Swery 65.
Swery 65. That guy. He's
Spy
known
Fiction,
for
Deadly Premonition,
Dairy
D4.
Over
D4.
D4, not D5.
Yeah, D4.
Dark Dreams Don't Die. Is that the name of it then?
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Never played it. He makes very stylized games. He's somebody that like. I don't want to get anyone mad when I say this. He's kind of like the Tarantino of games, where if you're playing his game, you know it's him. If you watch a Tarantino,
Yeah,
movie,
he
you
has
go,
he has a very distinct game style.
Yeah, he's very okay. Yeah, this is him. Which I think is cool to actually have a style and be able to. You know,
Actually, I will say we should probably let Drake know, just because I know Drake likes a lot of his games too.
well, if Drake was fucking here, he would have known. But Drake's too busy making a life for himself. What a nerd.
Yeah.
Emulator cannot
now-
use machine learning to translate games poorly. Then it has a caption of somebody playing Earthbound, talking to a dinosaur who then says, "I have gentle lick." Sorry.
This is the next announcement was one that I'm terrified that we're gonna get banned on YouTube for
Why?
because you're both about to shoot a load. When I mentioned Divinity: Original Sin 2 is coming to the Switch.
Oh no, it's fine. We're streaming this to Pornhub right now.
Yes.
And not only the greatest feature of this is it has cross save with Steam.
Yes, it
I still
fucking
can't
does.
believe it.
I can't believe they worked that out. That's awesome. Because
I was
I will also say, when I first heard that this was announced, I heard that they were in the works of trying to get that to be a possibility.
I didn't know any games were doing that.
Mm-hmm. So
'Cause this
I'm
is the thing. Now what's blowing my mind is okay, they did it. Who else is going to be able to do that?
Yeah, no, I said I was like, because I've played Divinity in the last month, and I was like, okay, cool, these things are in the cloud. What does that do for me? I only have one PC.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I mean,
The only good thing would be, oh hey,
if
my
my
hard drive failed.
crashes,
Right.
I have that.
that's mostly what it's for. Or like when you go to like,
Somebody else's house, I guess.
what I mean, yes, a little bit of that too. But I mean, like say you install a new hard drive onto your system and forgot to back up all of your save data, then it just automatically does
Yeah,
it.
I guess you're right.
I want to talk about some M.2 drives later. Speaking of installing new drives,
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
But no, Divinity 2.
Never played. Do you need to play
if-
Divinity 1? The first?
No, not really. You. It's one of those things where like you could do with Witcher, where it's like if you read the compendium, it's like who's this,
No, it's
what is
fine.
this, you could catch up in like 10 minutes.
Gotcha.
So
Do I need to just skip Witcher 1 and 2 and just start with 3?
don't play the first Witcher.
I keep trying to go
You're
through
gonna
and I
if you
wanna
try to play the first
both,
Witcher, you're not
but,
gonna want to play any of them because the combat's so bad. Story fantastic.
I need
combat,
to just start
terrible.
with 3.
Just play 3 and then just read in your booklet. Or
Yeah.
just read that and then take 15 minutes, read that thing, and you'll be completely caught up.
The actual booklet or like in game, like here's your like.
No, the
thing,
booklet in
codex.
the case.
Okay, is it gonna come with one on Switch? 'Cause that's
Oh,
probably
oh,
where
you're
I'm
gonna get
that's
on
probably,
Switch.
Probably where I'm gonna buy it.
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Okay.
oh, hold on, I was gonna say something when we jumped
Yes.
to Witcher.
We right before that was.
Oh, Divinity. I was just gonna say, like, if you guys, anybody watching is a fan of D&D, turn-based
That's why I wanna play
RPGs, anything with in-depth stories, decision-making, it literally has everything. It's one of the highest-rated games on Metacritic of all time.
Because you were so excited about it, talk about what you were talking about earlier, where you said that you can literally go through and okay, I want to run a campaign.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it's
there's also a
make-
Dungeon Master mode. Well, actually, that was Nick saying that.
Oh.
But basically, you can have somebody who makes a campaign, and you can run it as the DM, and it's just virtual D&D, and you can create the enemies, and you can
Brilliant.
It's
very,
amazing.
very, very intuitive. Like I'll give you an example of how this game kind of differs from other RPGs and things like that. So, okay, you're playing insert any RPG here. How do you heal an RPG?
Potion.
Health potion, right? Okay.
Okay,
boom.
I was
Health
really
potion.
worried. I was like, I'm gonna get this wrong, and you're gonna
No.
just stare at me.
No, like okay, so a health potion, right?
Okay.
So one of the first characters you meet in the game, because there's the sole story, but you can create your own character. You can play as a pre-built character
Okay.
that already has a backstory, but you can choose whatever. You
Yeah.
want. So one of the main characters you run into first, his name is Fane. He's an undead.
Okay.
If Fane drinks a health potion, he takes damage because he's undead.
Okay.
So on the flip side, so let's say you're standing in poison and you're a human character. Poison hurts you, right? That's not good. No bueno. So if he's standing in poison,
Heals
he
him?
heals. So you can actually attack, like let's say I'm a wizard, right?
Yeah.
I have a poison wand. I can attack you if you're undead and heal you.
If I'm on your team.
Or it doesn't matter, anybody.
Well, but
if,
like,
if somebody accidentally
Well, yeah,
drops
but,
a
like-
poison spell and it touches him, it'll actually heal the undead character as well too.
Correct.
gotcha.
So there's a lot of like mechanics where you have to think about like
So if I run up and attack an undead like creature, like well,
With-
I guess I
with
wouldn't attack,
poison.
but I'm saying opposite. Like if I were to go, why would I heal it? Never mind.
I
I was
used-
saying, can you accidentally be like, oh shit, I did the wrong thing, and now it's healing him?
Yes.
yes,
Absolutely.
Jeez.
correct. So like
I know I'd use a health potion on an enemy, but
you can just well some of them you can like throw. It's like a flask. You can,
Oh,
like,
okay.
you can,
Yeah. So I
like-
mean, you can throw a health potion at him. It's like throwing a
I-
grenade of.
I don't know. There was like a health grenade, I
Yeah.
think, or something like that.
It's like it heals with an AOE,
But-
but like you can toss it and it would just like
attack and kill undead in that area
Okay.
instead of healing your party. Or if
This-
you have
this
people
is
in your
what I
party
was
in there
trying
too.
to say, and I just realized I had it backwards because of the fact that we're using double negatives and stuff. So this is what threw me off. So if I attack an undead with a poison spell,
It heals.
I'm
you.
accidentally going to be healing.
Yes,
correct.
If you forget
That is fucking brilliant.
so like.
'Cause you gotta pay attention.
And yes, you do. Because sometimes I'll forget and I'll have
Yeah.
to drink a health potion or something stupid. But
Be like, oh
like
shit.
the opposite, like one of the characters I have built is the Hydra Fist, and they basically
Say that again.
or Hydrosophist, I think it's what it is. But it's
Slow that down. What are you saying?
Hydrosophist. It means they're
Hydrosophist?
yeah, it's they're like experienced in like water magic.
Gotcha. It sounded like you kept saying the Hydra Fist. And I was like,
Yeah,
what?
but so
Cut a finger off to replace it.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought. I was like, okay.
but they're really good at healing spells. So you can actually like do it like an AOE, like if you want to do like a mass heal for your team, throw it on your team. Or if you're fighting a bunch of skeletons, you can just throw a mass heal spell at them and it just hurts them a ton.
Nice.
So,
That's brilliant.
but yeah, there's a lot, and then I'm trying to think of the other. I'd probably say the one other kind of really cool mechanic with it is you have kind of unique to other games. So you have your health bar, and then you have your physical defense and your magic defense.
Should also state, this is also a top-down turn-based RPG.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure you knew that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw that from the footage.
Okay.
So like,
I do have another question, by the way.
Tactical RPG, I guess I should say. Yeah. But anyway, sorry. Continue.
but so like if you're facing a wizard, they're gonna have high, magic defense, low physical defense. So you want to have somebody who does physical damage or somebody who has physical spells or whatever, to break down the armor, because you can't actually hurt them until you break their armor down.
Okay.
So you wouldn't want a mage to attack a mage unless they had some kind of physical attack.
Yeah, because
Or
otherwise
things
they're
like
just going to cancel each other out.
Well, it'll chunk away at their magic armor, but it'll take longer to get to their health.
Yeah.
So that's where you kind of have to have a good. You can either go like full, like all melee, or full. You can have like a. There's all kinds of ways to build your characters and party, because you can have 4 people in your party at once.
Gotcha.
But no, it's very, very good game.
One thing
For
I'm
sure.
interested in is this going to be cross save as far as like, oh, I'm headed out to work now. I'm going to upload my save from Steam. Oh, I just got home. I'm going to upload it back to Steam. Keep playing on PC. Oh, I'm headed out. I'm going to play it on Switch. Or is it like, oh,
It works like Destiny. So like I sit down and I play on Steam. I sign out. I get on my Switch. I can immediately jump onto the exact same save.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Obviously, you don't have to be on the internet.
Correct.
True. 100%.
After that, my boy Pete Hines walked on stage
Yeah.
and announced that Doom 64 is coming to the Switch on November 22nd.
Cannot wait.
Which, as I pointed out, even though I was accused of being wrong, makes the Nintendo Switch the only place where you can play every single Doom game to date.
Because I didn't realize 3 was on there.
Because you can officially now play Doom, Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom 64
What
as of
about
November.
what about Ultimate Doom and Final Doom? Which I guess
I
are
think that was
technically
part
remakes
well,
of
I
1 and
think
2.
that's what they put in, like,
So
because it's
so-
original and Ultimate Final.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
thought.
Huh? Well, what?
Okay, so there was Doom.
Yeah.
Then there was Ultimate Doom. Then there was Final Doom, which are all versions of the original Doom. I thought all 3 versions are included in Doom on Switch.
I haven't bought it yet, so I don't know.
That's right. I forgot
That's right. You
kept
didn't
saying
spend the $5 because we played Ultimate Chicken Horse.
that. I will find that out in just a second. Actually, hey, Computer Boy, figure that out for me.
Oh.
Computer boy.
The other thing I was gonna say though is because you also now have 2016 Doom on the not now, it's been out.
Yeah.
But then you also have Doom Eternal coming to the Switch.
Which is great.
Right.
We're gonna play it.
While fact checker's looking that up, that leads us to a game that I know nothing about. It was called Rogue Company. It's being made by Hi-Rez. Nick described it as a third-person action shooter.
It
I got bored after like 30 seconds because it's just not my style.
It-
It's
it-
totally fine.
I don't remember what.
it
I
kind of
remember a bunch
looked
people,
like-
it looked like X-Force Deadpool jumping out of the back
I-
of an airplane, and then they went onto a boat and started shooting.
Must have been on the
from
flip side.
what I was seeing. So that's the other thing is Hi-Rez takes a popular genre and will put out a new game for it. So like but they do like a different twist on it. This seems like their answer to Overwatch. Except it's like
Yeah, what's the new one?
secret agents.
Okay.
Is how I was interpreting
That's more
it from the way it looked.
Wouldn't that kind of make it like Rainbow Six Siege?
No, like it plays a
Rainbow
lot
Six
more.
Siege is Overwatch, isn't it?
No, I mean,
Here, pick
hella
preset-
hyper realistic.
Pick your preset character. you have
Sort
certain
of,
abilities
but,
based
like-
off of that character.
Yes, but you're talking a hyper realistic versus like a cartoony, less competitive.
Okay,
I mean-
so art style's different, but
But it's not physically possible, whereas Rainbow Six is. I guess is the
I
difference.
mean, again, that's
Rainbow Six also doesn't have respawn, doesn't have like that kind of like. This looks like it plays more like Overwatch, where you
Rainbow
have
Six
like
Siege has permadeath.
yeah,
Maybe that's why I hated that game.
yeah. Well, so
You spawn in the round.
I mean, you spawn in the round, you die in the round, you're done for the round.
That's probably why I
And
hated
and
that
then
game.
next round, everybody
I guarantee I'm
respawns.
the first one dead every round.
Yeah.
So then I'm just sitting there watching other people play, and I'm like, I might as well just be on.
I mean, the
Twitch.
rounds are only like 4 minutes long.
That's 4 minutes. I'm like, I could have just been on Twitch. If I'm gonna sit here and watch other
You
people
just don't
play.
make bad decisions.
That ain't me. Have you played a game with me? Have you played Ultimate Chicken Horse with me?
You did pretty good.
He got really like it was just like, are you fucking kidding me? At the end when you came down here to start getting everything set up, I just went through and was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna win this anyway. So I just put 3 black holes on the starting point, and then I put a
Yeah.
bunch of coins behind him that he kept trying to get to. This next one I'm gonna read really quick, but I'm so excited about it because one of these things is the most adorable thing I've ever said in my life. Fuck you if you don't like it, okay?
mm-hmm.
Anywho, Pokemon Sword and Shield, we found out 4 new things about it. It is going to offer full customization. That means you can change your hair. You can, they said, put on makeup. You can change all of your clothes, not just like, oh, here's a shirt and here's some pants. You can go on to like full on customization of your character
I
to
wanna
make
go
your character you. You can do that.
Yes, Ultimate Doom is on Doom.
Cool. There is Pokemon Camp being added, which is basically the last few Pokemon games have had these kinds of features. Not to this extent, though. You can literally drop a tent and basically play with your Pokemon. You can go through and play with them. You can go through and like do mini games with them. You can pet them, all of this stuff. But when you drop a tent in the world, because there are other people in your world playing on the same game, they can come over and join your Pokemon and see your Pokemon, and vice versa. You can go and see theirs. So it's a really cool interaction with the actual Pokemon themselves.
So you can see other people's stuff.
And you can interact with it, so,
So,
you
like,
can,
if you drop
pet
a
their
tent,
Pokemon.
or at your camp, I can come over and be like, "Oh, Shan's at his camp," and I can come over and just start like hanging out with your Pokemon and like hanging out with you, and then like do this next feature where you can now cook. Where the only thing you can cook is curry on rice, because that's apparently the only food available. But you can make up to 100 different variations of curry on rice.
Here's my thing. So curry on rice.
'Kay.
And they even showed it. Like dude goes through and makes sausage curry on rice. I don't know about you, but I've never seen a non-Pokemon animal in Pokemon. So the Pokemon was eating a sausage
It's been
curry.
25 years and you're just putting this piece together?
Well, no, but they've never actually had it in.
They do
the
that in
game.
the anime all the time, at least,
They-
where it's like, oh, hey, like, I'm gonna make some food. Okay, guys, and he comes back, and it's like,
But,
here's
like-
a bunch of food, and it's like, you're eating Pokemon.
Yes, but all the Pokemon eat like bowls of rice and that kind of
Well,
stuff.
I've seen, like...
In the trailer, the Pokemon was
oh, you're
eating
sushi.
sausage
Yeah,
curry.
that part's creepy.
That was a little weird. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Are you sure
Yeah.
it's not just like a pig or something?
But that's the
I've
thing,
never
there's
seen
no
a
such
pig
thing as- have you ever seen a pig
Pokemon
in anything
game.
Pokemon?
Like, I've never seen just a pig.
I wouldn't be the one to know.
Out of all
It's
the
like,
episodes
oh,
of the
sorry,
show I've
we don't-
seen,
we
out of
don't
all the
have
games,
cows, but
I've,
here's a Taurus.
yeah.
Cut them up. Other thing is...
You
it
want
does
some
have a
eggs?
recipe
Go
book.
find an executor.
No.
He's dying today. No, but there's a recipe book. There's over 100 types. Each one does different things to help give you boosts to different things. And it actually
Well,
has
because
a
there's
full
over
minigame
150
of, like,
Pokemon, so you gotta have over 150 different recipes to cook them.
They have different like you're all fucked up. You're ruining my childhood. But there's different like okay, like the flame is this big, so then that can go and do a different effect. Or I stirred it this way or this much, and that did a different effect. And then like you can make different types. That's kind of cool. They introduced 3 new Pokemon. One of them is the most adorable thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. Excuse me, they only introduced 2 types. I have to actually read this properly. Poltegeist?
Yes, Poltegeist.
Poltegeist is a ghost Pokemon inside of a little tea kettle.
Mm-hmm.
I am so excited for this Pokemon.
His body is tea, and specifically they stated if he feels comfortable enough with a Pokemon trainer, he might even let him taste his tea. That was weird.
But
yes,
Pokemon
that is
itself-
exactly what he said in the trailer. I was like,
Pokemon itself is adorable.
"Wah."
The next Pokemon they introduced is Cramorant,
Yeah.
who is a seagull that can go through. I keep looking at you like I'm going to teach you about this because you haven't seen it. And you watched the same thing I did, but it is like a seagull. But when it goes through and does dive or surf, and the water comes over it, when the water dissipates, it has a chance to catch a fish.
Mhm.
And in catching this fish, will spit it back at the enemy to do extra damage.
In
by just
retaliation.
hitting it in the face with a fish, and that ability is called Gulp Missile. I thought that was adorable.
Welcome to Pokemon.
After that, we finally have one of my biggest excitement things for Nintendo Switch Online. We are getting Super Nintendo emulators on the Switch now.
Tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow.
I cannot
So cool.
wait.
So, just to give a fun little tidbit, I took a screenshot of it. We are getting, I'm going to name these quickly, Super Mario Kart, Kirby's Dream Course, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, F-Zero, Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Star Fox, Stunt Race FX, Super Metroid, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Pilot Wings, Super Soccer, Super Tennis, Brawl Brothers, Demon's Chest, Joe and Mac 2, Lost in the Tropics, Super Earth Defense, Super EDF Earth Defense Force. Nick is excited for that.
I'm really
one.
excited for some EDF.
I didn't know.
I'm going to pronounce
Yes.
this wrong. Super Puyo 2,
Puyo.
Yeah.
Breath of Fire, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Now, the
Fuck
greatest
that game.
the greatest feature of this is you have rewind feature. You can rewind up to 30 seconds. So if you die, just rewind and do it again.
And that's the other thing is
And all that's
they've been
included
slowly
with
rolling
Nintendo
that out.
Online.
They've been slowly rolling that feature out into the original
Correct. There we go.
Nintendo games. But like some
Some
games
are.
have it and some games don't.
Correct.
But they said every single one that's going to be on Super Nintendo will have it at launch.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. Also, one of those games, Super Stunt or Super Stunt Race.
Yes.
That one, they mentioned that this is the first time
Stunt Race FX.
Stunt Race FX. This will be the first time that this
Stunt Race
game
Fox.
is actually not on a Super Nintendo. Like up to this point, the original release on Super Nintendo is the only way that this game has ever been.
It's never been. Yeah.
It's never been
remastered,
ported.
it's
Never been like
virtual console. It's never
right.
been anything but that original cartridge.
correct.
So, for anyone that maybe liked that game, here's a good way to chance to go back and play it. The other thing is they are launching a Nintendo Switch compatible SNES controller with 4 triggers on it. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah. Well, so it's trigger,
Yes.
and then like small button.
Yeah.
But you
wireless.
Wireless.
$29.99 for that, which
wireless.
way cheaper than the last. Well, I mean, technically, it only comes with 1 controller.
True.
But the issue was when they did the NES controller that was exclusive, you have to be an online member to even buy it. It was like $80, but it came with 2, so it's like $40 each.
It's since dropped in price.
But it
by
was
a
the
lot.
fact of I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Because
but
they're
I was like,
Joy-Cons, Joe.
They're Joy-Cons that only work on the NES emulator.
So yeah.
So you cannot use those in any other games besides
That's,
the NES.
that's the Joy-Cons are normally priced though. Are
Correct.
Piece. That's
Correct.
why.
Right.
It seems a little silly, but I know.
But I like the fact that this one, it's $30. Because my thing is, I'm like, I don't need 2. I need 1. But for me, I was like, oh, this time around, I'm definitely buying this. It's $30, and I don't know, I loved that controller. I always thought it was a good controller. After that, they announced that we are getting version 2.0 of Tetris 99 is coming. It is a free update for anybody that has, Nintendo Switch Online or Nintendo Online services.
They've dropped it down. They're now $60 for the NES ones.
It's not awful.
So
That's
still
2. So it's $30 each.
Yeah, so it's about the same as the SNES one, and the SNES
Yeah,
one
SNES
you can
buy
use
a
on,
single, though.
and you can also go anywhere.
Correct.
As opposed to just being for these. Anyway.
They're also announcing a new paid DLC for Tetris 99 called Invictus. It's only available to people that have mastered the original, so I will never get a chance to play it.
All you have to have done is one match.
No, it said you have to have attained master level.
I thought I
heard what Nick heard.
I was gonna say,
After this podcast, because I don't want to get flagged again
Yeah.
for copyright, I want to go back and rewatch that because I heard it say that you had to attain master level, and I was like, well, I'm never going to get a chance to play this then.
you have to have won a single match. Is what I heard. But anyway,
we'll look into
sorry.
that. It's also introducing new daily missions where you can earn tickets to unlock new themes and icons.
Which some of the new themes actually look pretty cool.
After that was Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo Olympics.
Yep.
Couple new features they added is they added a shit ton of new sports that weren't in the original games. I could not even type them because I was reading it so fast.
Yes.
There's a lot of shit. I heard karate at one point.
There's
heard
karate,
football,
skateboarding,
soccer.
football, but yeah, I was gonna say it's soccer. What's the UK version of football?
Soccer.
No.
Football, North Bay.
Rugby?
Rugby. Thank you.
Oh. I'm sitting here speaking Spanish.
Rugby.
Why would you speak Spanish in here? Never mind. Continue. Yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and then on top of that,
Google it. They did show off. They have new retro 2D style events.
Yes,
which looks really cool.
There were 10 events.
Yeah.
That were done in the. It seemed like a separate mode.
Correct.
Where you can play, and there's a whole storyline. They get sucked back into 1964.
Something like that.
Some other
1964.
Whenever the last time Tokyo hosted the Olympics.
64.
The other thing I thought was cool was it reminds me of, because we've played it at Tappers before. It kind of reminds me of the old Olympics track and field game.
Yes.
The track and field arcade machine. Which
Agreed.
I thought was cool.
Agreed.
That is a very hard game. They also introduced new mini games and a story mode. The story mode is where they get sucked back into 1964. After that, we have new information on Demon X Machina. The demo dropped today. All of your demo, everything you've done in the demo transfers over to the full game when the full game comes out. The demo has up to 4-player local wireless co-op. Once the game launches, it will have up to 4-player online co-op.
Correct.
Like mech games, looks pretty cool. Customize your weapons, customize how your whole rig looks.
Yeah,
I played the initial. I can't remember what they call it, but it was like the Lost Tapes or the Lost
something like that.
The original thing that they launched.
The original beta thing.
Correct. It's greatly changed since then because they actually listened to people's feedback and was like, okay, we're gonna change everything that people said. But that even was incredible. So I am very excited for this game. After that, Nick, they are bringing back. I'm gonna get this wrong.
Backstreet's back. All right.
I don't remember the prefix. I was too busy screaming. Jedi Outcast is coming to the Switch.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember the beginning.
Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast.
That is coming to the Switch. I loved this game. Nick figured out how to turn
cannot
on.
fucking yeah.
Like
I guarantee
slicing off arms and legs, and that was when I fell in love with the game.
tilde G _ Saber Realistic Combat Space 20 enter.
He still remembers it after 15 years.
It's
longer.
one of my favorite cheat codes in a video game.
They came out like 2002, I think, right? 2001.
Frasier was still on TV because I used to play it in Dad and Tina's room, and Tina would watch Frasier while I would play it. So
I miss Frasier.
That's a good show.
I was way too young to like Frasier at the age I did because it's all like intelligent, like let's talk about like arts and society, and I was just like, I love this show. It's Sideshow Bob. He's talking to me.
yeah.
After that, we got some. I'm gonna go through these pretty quick because they didn't really show anything off. It was just here's like a 10-second clip of each. We got gameplay footage of The Witcher 3. It does not look as bad as I thought it would. It looks pretty decent on Switch. It's not the greatest way to play the game, but it still looks very good for the fact that I didn't think this console would be able to run it at all. And they got the whole thing onto one cartridge. There's
Yep.
no download. There's nothing. It's here's the entire game on a cartridge with all DLC. That's crazy.
Impressive.
After that, you have the Assassin's Creed something collection. I don't know what it's called.
Rebel Collection.
Rebel Collection. There we go. Including Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, the only one worth playing, and Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Whoa.
I know we're gonna get into that debate.
One, great because I had to start the series.
'Kay.
Two, probably the best one in my opinion because it
Probably.
You guys are gonna get really mad at me in a second,
And
but I'm
then-
gonna let him finish.
Three,
I'm gonna let you finish.
it was. I like the history of that behind it, but
I liked the history. I didn't like the characters too much,
yeah, I didn't. Know.
but yeah.
But then they came out with what was like Brotherhood and Revelations. Those kind of were cookie cutter for me.
I liked them because it gave me more information on Ezio Auditore, but I still, hands down, 2 was immensely
two
leaps
was
and
better.
bounds better than Brotherhood and
Black Flag was
Yeah.
a breath of fresh air because that was the one that came out after all.
the
those.
thing I loved about Black Flag is the fact of it wasn't supposed to originally be an Assassin's Creed game. They were forced to shoehorn in a bunch of stuff because they were afraid that they wouldn't be able to just sell a pirate game as its own on Ubisoft.
That's exactly what happened with Odyssey. I feel like.
Well, and so it's one of those. Well, so the company came to Ubisoft and were like, "We want to do this game." And they're like, "Great, nobody will buy it. Let's find some way to work it into the Assassin's Creed universe, and we'll release it." It did well.
Throw Animus in there. We're good to go.
Yeah, and then it did well, so they were like, "Okay, fine, we'll let you guys do a pirate game." So now they have Skull and Bones coming out, if it ever comes out, and it looks like it's specifically
But it took part of my favorite
only
part away of
naval.
Black Flag.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Is it took away one of my favorite parts of Black Flag.
The land, like
Not just the
movement.
land, but like I loved the fact that I could go on land and look for treasure. I could do all this. Other
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
But, my
Skull and
favorite
Bones
part
is
was
like,
I loved going through and swinging over to another ship and just killing everyone on that ship.
yeah.
I know it sounds morbid.
But no, yeah, and then what was after Black Flag was
I lost
Well,
count.
that
after
would be
5. That was
Rogue and
Unity.
Rogue and Unity.
Unity,
Because those were exactly the same time. 'Cause Rogue was only on 360 and PS3,
right?
and then Unity came out on PS3.
Right,
Unity was
which-
a brilliant concept. It was horribly executed.
Correct. Unity, and
I think
the other one after Unity was as well.
Syndicate.
Syndicate wasn't as bad.
Syndicate wasn't as broken, but it was still very broken on launch, and then
They had it
fixed
very
quickly. And then yeah, like fucking
though. I lost count
Origins
after
and
that.
Odyssey are amazing, like
This is my
fucking
thing.
incredible, amazing. I
This-
love both of those games.
This is my thing. They said we are making Assassin's Creed 4. It is pirate themed. I said, okay, I'm buying it. But I said, first, Joe, we should play the other games and get acquainted with them. So I played Assassin's Creed 1 in 2013, 2014.
Oh,
Going, wow, fuck this game. It's fucking stupid. I don't understand how it ever made it this far. Because, again, understanding, I was judging it against 2014 games. In 2007, it was revolutionary. 7 years later, games had changed. So I was kind of like, this is pretty boring. But I forced myself through it. I said, surely, 2 will be better. Everyone loves 2.
I went back.
threw in 2. Hold on. I threw in 2. 20 minutes in, I was like, man, fuck this game. I don't even give a shit. Understanding by this point, I already bought 4. It was sitting under my Christmas tree. And then, well, I guess I didn't buy it. But, so it was sitting under my Christmas tree. And I was like, okay, I can't do 2. It's more the same. I can't do it. I started playing 3. I was like, this is a cool concept. American Revolution, like, this is a really cool concept. Started playing it, and I played it for about 7 hours, and I was talking to Nick, and I was like, I really like this assassin. And he was like, yeah, Connor? And I was like, who the fuck's Connor?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And he was like, the assassin. I was like, no, that's Hatham. And he was like, no, that's just like the first part of the game, and then you eventually start playing as Connor. I said, I'm 5 hours into this game, and I'm not even in the fucking main story. I'm in the prologue. So I was like, fuck that game. So I just ripped open Assassin's Creed Black Flag before Christmas. Wasn't even supposed to have it, but I said, fuck it, and just opened it and started playing that one, and then that was just mind-blowing how great that game was.
I do also find it
if I went back and actually played the originals, I'm sure they are good games. But,
But-
when you're
but-
sitting there with 4 like 10 feet away from you and it had just come out and everyone's talking about how great it is, you're just kind of like, fuck. These games.
I will also say 3 is probably my least favorite in the series. I love it from the perspective of the history and all that
The
kind of stuff.
history's the part that I like, and
But-
I liked going back.
But as an assassin, I think Connor's the worst. Because
I don't know that's
a little
true.
bit, but I mean like you don't have a lot of character development with Connor, so it's a lot of you don't. I mean, you understand why he's doing what he's doing, but you don't get to feel the character, if that makes sense. Whereas Ezio, you've had 3 games with Ezio, you know.
Who's the first guy?
Ezio.
Altair?
Altair.
Altair.
Altair's fucking
Incredible
amazing.
guy. Really great story with him. My issue with that game with the first Assassin's Creed, and
The
again,
gameplay.
I understand at the time that was revolutionary. It is so repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, go to this map. Okay, cool. Now find all the eagle. What do they call it? Eagles points, eagles nests, or
Now, I had it till
Eagle
you said
Eye.
that, and they confused me. Eagle Eye is the has how you like. You
Right,
look around.
right.
But then it was like,
It's
find all
Eagle.
the towers.
Yeah.
Cool. Now go assassinate your target. Cool. Now do these mini side things where like you go through and like do these mini side quests. Cool, you did that? Awesome. Next map. And you do that like 8 times and it's like, okay, you beat the game. And I was like,
But I love. There's something about Ezio. My other big thing
I
is.
never even got to play Ezio. Like I barely got into that game when it was just like, okay, go find the tower.
But see,
Okay, go assassinate your target. And I was like, this is gonna be more the exact same. Which I'm not saying it is.
I went
I
back and
didn't play enough
replayed.
of it.
I went back and replayed 2
Mhm.
last year or the year before. Still an amazing fucking game. There are a lot.
That one was more open world. I mean,
They
you could
remastered it, so I need to go back and play it because it's on Xbox One.
Yeah.
think every Assassin's Creed game is now on Xbox One.
Yes, and it's one of those where there are a lot of games where I remember fondly and I refuse to go back and play because I know if I play them now, I'm gonna hate it. That was one where I was like, I hope to God I still like this. I just want to play through the story again just to
I'd
get
be
the story
terrified
again.
to go back and play Fallout 3.
Fallout 3 still holds up actually.
Does it?
Well,
'Cause
could,
that, in my opinion, is still held on my top
let me put
2 games.
at least as of the week
Nah,
of
it's
Fallout
gotta be
4
more.
because I beat Fallout 3 the week of Fallout 4 coming out.
Still haven't beaten Fallout 4.
Because I had never
The
beat
one thing with
'cause
Fallout 4 is
Fa-
I will
Fallout
say,
3
I'm not trying to it's a great game. I want to come out and be very clear. I love Fallout 4. I don't mean that isn't since I haven't beaten it. I don't want to come off as I didn't like it. I've done so much in that game where it's just I'm going to play for 12 hours and I'm just running around doing nothing.
So like that's the thing I love yet somewhat kind of hate about Bethesda games is
I'll get lost in the game.
I
And I'm not talking like
the immersion is so great and I have so much fun playing the game that I refuse to finish the game because I don't want it to end.
Yeah.
So I just keep playing and keep playing and keep playing. So I never beat Fallout 3.
there's
ever.
been times where I'm like,
And
I'll
then-
be playing a Bethesda game and be like, oh, I'm 70 hours in and I haven't even started the main storyline. I should probably start that.
Yeah. But like I will also say I put off beating it a lot for the fact of major spoiler alert right now for Fallout 3.
Oh.
You die at the end of Fallout 3 and
That
the game
was
ends.
Something,
So
yeah.
I didn't want that to
Like
happen.
the original Fallout 3 when it came out, the original
But-
release we're talking about.
Yeah.
But when the first DLC or was the second DLC
That
pack?
was the first.
First
The
DLC
very
pack,
first DLC
Operation
was-
Anchorage.
No.
Or no, it was
Something. It was the Brotherhood of Steel one.
I don't remember. Anyway,
I'm looking it up.
when that first one came out, it actually changed the ending so that way you could live and then continue from there. So it was one of those where I eventually
Broken Steel.
Broken Steel. That's it.
Because when Broken Steel came out, the whole point is you survive.
Operation Anchorage is
And
number
now the wasteland, capital wasteland, is now flourishing with water and all this thing is kind of going through this renaissance period now. Somebody needs to take control of it, so then you join the Dark Brotherhood and go through the whole thing with the Dark Brotherhood.
Brotherhood of Steel.
Brotherhood of Steel.
The
Sorry,
Dark
excuse me.
Brotherhood.
Wrong Bethesda game.
Stabbing.
Same universe, wrong idea. No,
All I know is when first. Oh my gosh, I don't even get me started on that. Never mind. I want Skybound, Sky game.
Starlight?
Starlight. I want that game.
Is it Starlight?
Yeah, Starlight.
Star-
sounds right. Starlight sounds right.
The
Because
science
there's
fantasy.
So they've done post-apocalyptic. They have done medieval
Are you talking about when-
fantasy. Now we're doing sci-fi with
Skyrim
Bethesda.
in space.
Yes.
Like I was talking, like that one time we had that thing. We were all sitting down.
Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield.
There you go.
Yeah, Starfield. That's I was like, I don't think it's Starlight. No, remember we were all doing. They were doing that reaction video And I was like, this guy's gonna be Skyrim in space. And you're like, no, it's not. Shut up. You kept telling me to shut up. They didn't end up saying it, but literally now they have Skyrim in space.
Yeah.
So, your mom.
The other thing I was gonna say real quick though with I don't remember.
Another thing going back around to the Assassin's Creed games real quickly before we go on to the next thing. I love the Assassin's Creed games. I will say you kind of had to play the Assassin's Creed games because they're even though each game is its own secular story, because
Desmond's story.
but Desmond's story you kind of have to go through. But
talk about a confusing as fuck transition.
well, and it also doesn't help that they had it perfectly set up to get into Watch Dogs, put Watch Dogs in, and like even make like Desmond like the star of the next like Watch Dogs type thing, and all that, and then they kill off Desmond, and then like now
Spoiler alert! Hold on, dude. What?
what?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, how did you not
No,
know
I'll
that?
explain that in a second.
Okay, because sorry, spoiler alert for Assassin's Creed Revelation.
No, is it Revelation?
It's Revelation.
So there must be 3 is where it starts it then.
3 is the first one where he's dead. So you play a
Okay, then that's what it was.
you play an urine
'Cause
in.
don't you go and
turn?
find him?
Yeah.
No.
No. 4 is
3
the
still has Desmond. 4 is you're an intern working for Absterio. Because in the beginning of 3, because what I went through is I beat all of 1. And was
Okay.
like, wow, Desmond's story was kind of cool. And then they do the whole, like, you're part of a bigger world, welcome to the Avengers thing.
yeah.
And then they leave, and then I started 2, and it was like, oh, we're gonna help take down Absterio. And I was like, whatever. I start playing 3, and it's like, oh, Desmond's dying, and he's bleeding out everywhere. And I was like, oh my god, like, what's going on with that? And I was like, I'm gonna skip this game, and we'll figure out what happened. And I start 4, and it's like, Desmond's dead. And I was like,
Yeah.
the fuck happened? I was like, I skipped 3 games.
So like
that's a lot.
yeah.
All of a sudden, people are dead. And an assassin game.
And then what's her face? The chick that helps Desmond is played by
Don't have a clue.
Good Place.
Kristen
Bell.
Really?
Mhm.
Can we talk about how great that show is? You haven't watched it.
I need to play catch up.
The
on that,
final
by the way.
season starts at the end of this month.
That sucks.
They're ending on their terms, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
I hear.
Can I read through these?
Sorry,
last
yeah.
ones?
Let's get through the last of this
Just
because
to
we've
get
got
going.
30 more minutes.
So reading through these.
By
very
the way, if
quickly-
you haven't noticed, Tyler is not coming.
Oh, I figured that by now.
Yeah. Because we didn't wait for the next episode.
Right. Dauntless is coming.
Yeah.
The
Monster Hunter
greatest game for the Wii is coming out. Just Dance 2020.
Yeah, it's coming out on the
Make
Wii.
sure you pre-order that.
Grid Autosport. Farming Simulator 20. The greatest game that's coming out this year, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch is coming out.
Why is that the greatest game that's coming out?
Because it's fucking, the cutscenes are made by Studio Ghibli. That's the only reason. That right there makes it the best game coming out this year. Fuck all other games.
What kind of RPG is this? I've seen the case and I.
It's
What
a
do you mean? It's JRPG. Plays like
it's an action JRPG.
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, like art style is from Studio Ghibli. So if you ever seen Spirited Away or Castle in the Sky,
Castle
Nausicaa.
Sky, Nausicaa, My Neighbor Totoro, Pocoroso, Pompoko, Hell's Moving Castle.
No.
what's that new one that just came out? Fuck kids or fuck you, fuck something. Hold on.
What
Hold
did
on.
you just say?
Hold on. Hold on.
Are you talking about motherfuckers?
MFers. Yeah, motherfuckers.
I had no idea where you were going for a minute because I was like, did something come out about Hayao Miyazaki that I
No,
didn't know?
No.
Did he just
No,
get
no,
me
no.
too?
No. Although you know who did just get me too.
I don't even want to hear about it.
Shannon's mic is not working at all. Apparently, that's really weird.
No, Shannon just doesn't talk.
Oh, that is really weird.
Talk, Shannon.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, he's peeking.
It's all the way
Blah
up.
blah blah blah.
Boom. I'm on a different mic.
I don't know what to tell you,
Oh,
man.
you got me turned down so fucking low because I do that.
Yeah, you do that a lot.
I love how nobody's posted this in chat. It's specifically Corey texted me saying, "Hey, it's not working."
Corey, it's your computer, man.
Also,
Buy a
you're
new one.
kind of quiet. How about that? We'll just turn everybody up.
I can watch you in my TV.
Oh, your new TV? Fuck you.
Okay, so that one got it. Okay, what's after that?
NBA 2K20.
Oh,
This was
beautiful
this-
picture of us, guys.
That's a beautiful picture, Corey. That was worth $300. This was a surprise one. Call of Cthulhu.
That was a little surprising.
I am excited
I'm
to see that.
pretty excited for that.
I eventually want to play that game. It has my interest for sure.
Although I still
The
want to play
next-
Sunken City.
The next 5 games are fucking fantastic. The last 5, they hit a home run on these.
Duke Nukem Forever.
Yes. Am I the only person on this planet that liked that game?
I love Duke Nukem Forever.
I love that game, and people don't believe me when I say it. Like they can they're like,
I was
"You're kidding
entertained
me."
by it.
Yes, it held my interest.
As a game, it
It
was
just-
not good.
Correct.
But it's just like a.
It
just like
entertained me for a few
I
hours.
was very, very entertained by it.
Outer Worlds
so
coming to Switch, which we knew about.
I mean, obviously everything's on.
I don't know how you can't hear Shannon because like he's peaking.
Yeah.
He's on the board. He's louder than I am,
Bruh.
and I'm shouting.
He said it is a pretty good picture.
Dude, it's fucking Vizio V series. Of course it is.
Wait,
Are you kidding me right now?
Stupid? What did you do?
Can everybody hear everybody?
Is it plugged in now?
Hour and a half in, and we weren't even plugged with the right port. Your only job is to do fucking.
It's been going off of this mic right here.
You had one job. Tell me the horror hound was this weekend.
Which one is
Fail.
mine? So I can turn myself down now.
Uh,
Well, I'm not talking to it.
Talk.
Blah.
Yep.
Corey, is that better?
Well, we're waiting on Corey.
Well, anyway, sorry. Continue.
Outer Worlds coming to Switch. That was a major shock when I heard that. It is not coming
Yes.
on launch day though.
It is
So if
not,
you're
but
planning on
I'm still
getting it, I
I'm
would
still
get it on console or PC and then pick it
I'm
up
still planning on
later.
getting it on PC, and I'll probably end up picking it up on
Epic
Switch later if I
Store.
enjoy it as much.
This,
Oh, hey, I hear everyone.
we probably blew his brand new speakers on his brand new TV the second we did that.
Blow something else. Anyway,
Um,
bone me, talk games.
That's the best line of that. Follow me, play cards. I love you, Matthew Lillard. Please marry me. Devil May Cry
Hella
2.
bass. Oh wait, hold on. So how did the soundbar get? Sorry, I'm having a conversation with Corey through text messages through the thing. So yes, Joe, continue.
I like him. Oh, we're in the middle of a podcast, so I shouldn't call him right now. But we'll just text and then he'll speak. So like, Corey, just call him. Just be here. You're still up right now watching this. Why the fuck can't you just be here? No, I totally understand why you're not here, by the way. Devil May Cry 2. That is insane. I am hoping they keep this trend going.
And put
because-
3 out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I never got to play the Devil May Cry.
Yeah,
game, so,
I
this is
never
a
did
good way
either.
for me to go back and replay them.
Oh,
100%
this is
agree.
one that I have. I've played those.
Have you?
Yeah, they're very good.
Vampire. Is that how you pronounce it? I always said vampire. But
Vampire. It's
Vampire's coming out.
yeah.
Interesting.
YR.
I never played that either. So
I've played
another
about
one
4
that
hours of it.
Really?
I was gonna say I know you started playing it and you enjoyed it, but I know you stopped playing
He
it.
doesn't
because-
look like he enjoyed it.
No, it's one of those things that I was probably. It was like, oh, I'm gonna start this game and it's good, and then someone was like, hey, we should play Rocket League, and I played Rocket League, and I just never turned it back on. But no, I mean, if the thing about that game is, it's very, very well done. It's done by Focus Home Interactive, so there's a lot of dialogue and story, and a lot of the characters matter in the game. So if it's like because spoiler alert, you're a vampire. Shocker,
God
right?
Damn it!
You only learn that in like the first 2 minutes of the game.
That's the one thing everyone yells at me when I do is hit the tape.
Yeah, I will say one nice thing about that's one thing. So there's a lot of vampire games that are out where it's like, oh, I'm a vampire. Blah, blah, blah,
I
blah.
want to know where the Twilight game is because that's the real vampires.
No,
Yeah, there's no shiny vampires in.
I
Vampire.
love the Masquerade games.
I
specifically
really fucking
because-
love Vampire the Masquerade.
Yes.
I remember playing it on
love both
PC
of those.
way back in the day.
Long story short,
That was on the old HP.
you start off as a normal human and then you get bitten and then it's
it is about being a vampire and role playing as being a vampire and all that stuff, but it's also about how you deal with the change and that kind of stuff. But like in the original Vampire the Masquerade, Redemption.
Requiem sounds right.
I think it's.
Requiem
You
sounds
can just
right.
tell me
I
what
don't
you
know.
want.
Anyway, but
Just tell me, I'll believe you.
the way it starts at the beginning of the first game is you are a guy and you're like in like a like Victorian London, actually probably a little older than that. So it's around the time of the Black Plague, and you get bit by a vampire and then you die and then you come back and then you realize that you're now a vampire, so you get vengeance on the people, and then it like so it's kind of like you adjusting. By the time you get to the point where you're adjusted to being a vampire, it fast forwards to modern time, and now you are in New Orleans and you're a vampire, and now you're going with like modern society of being a vampire and picking a clan to be with and blah blah blah. Like, so it's pretty cool. And then the new Vampire the Masquerade that's coming out looks like it's kind of following the same thing. Bloodlines, I think Bloodlines is one of those where it starts off in modern times, you get bitten and going straight in. But man, I've gotten like 13 messages in the last 3 minutes.
Just
so.
read the last one. The last one's gold.
Nice, sound fun.
No. you didn't
Oh,
get the
shut
last
up,
one.
drunk.
No. Last game, I think 2 last games. The last 2 games are the biggest announcements of the night. I need to rephrase. Game I'm most excited about, and then the biggest announcement of the night. But I think Animal Crossing New Horizons looks fucking great. I fucking hate all of you that don't like that game. Say it means more copies for me.
Oh, actually, that picture turned out really well. Holy shit.
The biggest game of the night. Seriously, no jokes. All seriousness, the biggest shock of the night is the fact that they are re-releasing the original Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Switch. Truly, I made a joke a moment ago, but the best game on the Wii coming to the Switch.
Yes, I am
is a game
so
I
excited
always
for that.
wanted
Only
to
for the
play.
fact of it's one that I've always wanted to play. It's only been available on the Wii. I could buy it on the Wii, but
At this point,
it's
$90, $70.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous. It's really expensive. 'cause it's hard
yeah,
to find.
and that's if you can find a copy of it. I didn't want to spend that kind of money on it, but I will abso-fucking-lutely fork over the money to play that on a Switch. Corey's going to sleep listening to us talk. We should.
That's a screenshot. That's not his TV.
We should turn this into an ASMR podcast. We should just talk like this for the rest of the night. Hey, Corey. Sweet dreams the rest of the evening, man.
No, please stop. Don't say what you're about to say, Joe. I can see it on your face.
You can't even say it.
Just don't say it.
Now to get to legitimate news, though.
As I slowly rub Corey's chest, humming in his ear as he falls asleep, I begin to unzip my pants.
ASMR.
And we've lost a viewer. Anyway, so no,
Please stop.
back to actual regular news. Now, so that was it for the Nintendo press conference.
Yes. Nintendo.
Other stuff that has happened since
I
our
did
last
not like
episode of the
the screenshot,
podcast.
by the way.
I liked it.
I didn't like the texture. That was a weird way to say that. That wasn't that weird.
Continue.
Seriously though, does anyone want this?
Making my balls tingle. God, that was great. Sorry. Anyway, but no, further news, since the last time we've done one of these, 2K's at it again.
Text it out, ha ha ha, in case he couldn't hear me. This fucking stupid story.
I love
This is
how
so stupid.
I love how
Wait, this is the story I'm thinking of. I was thinking EA
no,
did something stupid today.
they did do something stupid today.
What did 2K do now?
Do one at a time.
One at a time. One at a time.
2K.
NBA 2K, 2K20. So 2K
Come to Switch.
has been in front of multiple international ratings committees and that kind of stuff to go out and prove beyond shadow of a doubt that there is zero gambling in any of their games. And the new trailer is literally people playing slot machines to get characters and Plinko to get characters.
You're shitting me.
I am dead serious. Have you not seen this new trailer?
Have you seen this?
No.
Have you seen this?
No, I have not.
Don't play it right now.
No. This is a GIF of an action.
Okay.
This is the actual trailer. This is a GIF made from the actual trailer of somebody playing slots.
This was someone that's like, man, today's my day. I'm getting fired. How am I going out? I'm gonna go through and disprove everything that 2K said in the last.
They yes, to the point where they put in microtransactions and went from like randomized
I love the
loot
fucking
boxes
reaction of the guy.
so that here's the other thing.
Or is
Here's
that part of the trailer also?
No, this is all part of the trailer too.
Oh, I
So-
thought that was a guy reacting.
No. The trailer is of NBA basketball players playing the game like they're streamers and streaming it to Twitch. That's the new trailer. And there's no actual legitimate basketball gameplay. All of the gameplay is slot machines and Plinko and
Can
stuff
we talk
like
about what really causes gun violence in this world? Microtransactions. We're all tired of it.
Yeah, no, so the new trailer shows off all the ways that you can recruit new players and win prizes throughout randomized games. As in games prior, the whole system revolves around card packs. Even more packs get open more packs, get hopefully more rare and more powerful players. Players can even now evolve like a sort of Pokemon minigame. Doesn't that sound fun?
Is this
Then-
from them?
No. This is a Kotaku article talking about the new trailer.
I totally thought you said that 2K wrote this, and I
No.
was like, oh
No.
my God.
Then there's the reimagined triple threat mode with tons more prizes. At this point, only 30 seconds in, the trailer shows what players can get for racking up wins, including in-game currency, more card packs, and even a chance to spin to win further jackpot prizes. There's also ball drops, like those mini games from The Price is Right, where you drop a ball randomly and it falls through a series of pegs, hoping that it hits a color-coded platform on the way down. The trailer even shows NBA 2K streamer Cash Nasty Gaming bobbing back and forth between anguish and excitement while watching it unfold. And of course, there's a literal slot machine that you can pull to match 3 gems and potentially win back your self-respect. I don't understand how they can keep saying there's no gambling in this game. There's no gambling in this game when there is clearly now 100% beyond shadow of a doubt, in fact, gambling. But like the new gameplay trailer, like doesn't show like people playing basketball. It literally makes it look like a casino simulator. There's more gambling in this trailer than the new casino expansion for Grand Theft Auto Online. That is nuts. It is fucking insane. Like I even watched a side-by-side comparison, and like when you look at it, like the GTA Online trailer looks like you're watching a trailer for like an Ocean's 11 or something like that. Like it doesn't look like a lot of gambling, but it looks like it takes place in a casino. This literally looks like a trailer for a casino. Like somebody actually played it side by side with like television commercials for casinos, and it looks like a casino commercial. It is fucking asinine how they can literally do this and say, oh yeah, no, this is a game for children, rated E for everyone.
I don't know none of that, but what would you define as a saga? I know that's a random question.
Not a Sega.
Sega.
I'm serious.
I don't know.
How many movies is a saga?
How many movies is a saga?
Probably more
give
than
me-
3, because that's a trilogy.
Yeah. So
Why
I
is
guess
everyone
four.
referring to It Chapter 2 as the perfect ending of a saga?
because
It's not a saga. It's a
Yeah.
sequel.
Yeah.
We didn't even get a trilogy.
It's the completed works, so I guess saga.
I get.
I
Um,
don't see that at all.
I'm gonna get Joe off on another tangent that's gonna take like another 30 minutes on this one.
What is this one?
Another thing that's been announced since our last thing was the Disney Classic Games Aladdin and Lion King combo pack coming out.
I can only get so erect.
I cannot fucking wait for this game.
I have one complaint to make. I've done a lot of research on this, and you have both misled me.
Yes. So you get the Sega Genesis and the Game Boy releases of both games, but Lion King you only get the Super Nintendo, or you get the Super Nintendo version. You do not get the Super Nintendo version of Aladdin.
Which the Aladdin Super Nintendo game is one of my favorite Super Nintendo games ever.
Oh, I'll give you that.
Even though it literally I can beat it in about 38 minutes, 40 minutes now. But with that said, I am very disappointed in that. Other than that, I am very excited for this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, one of my favorite games from my childhood is getting put on Switch. Oh, by the way, it doesn't come with the version you know. And a lot of people may not know this. Obviously, I think the three of us do. But when they made Aladdin, they went through and said, okay, we're going to make this game. So they went to Sega and said, hey, we want you to make this game, and Nintendo is going to make this game. But in order to get it done on time, they both made separate games inside the Aladdin franchise. They are two totally different games with totally different mechanics. They're both platformers, but very different mechanics.
Which I do find funny because if there's any one you need two of, it's the one that there's two versions of. But Lion King, I don't believe there's too many major differences.
Yeah, it was almost the same game. Just
it's almost the exact same
ported
game.
over.
Just the Sega had slightly better graphics
Yes.
and something else because it was
I think it had a different mini game.
something like that. But anyway,
But yeah, Aladdin is very because like I don't have you played Aladdin? And if so, what version did
Not
you play?
Aladdin. I played
You
Lion
play a
King.
lot of kids games. You said.
I played Lion King, but I didn't play Aladdin game.
My thing with Aladdin is so in the first Aladdin, and I'm not talking like little differences. Like in Super Nintendo, it was very Nintendo. So you want to kill an enemy, you jump on their head. So the only physical move you have is jumping on them, and you can throw apples to stun them. In the Sega version, you full on have a sword. Aladdin's running around chopping fuckers up.
I want that version.
So like that's the version you're getting. So good job. But everyone's like, "Oh, this is a superior version because
Although I
you
will
had
say,
Genesis." And I'm like, "Fuck Genesis." There's a reason Sega's not around anymore.
if we're getting this,
Can I have a Toy Story trilogy remaster? Yes, I can.
I wouldn't mind Toy Story. I would love Page Master.
I want Page Master.
I would love it. I'd be happy with a direct port.
I don't even need that. Just emulate it.
No, that's it's like throw it on the Switch Online.
Yeah.
I would be more than happy with that.
I agree.
I don't think they can ever do it because of licensing stuff, but
I don't give a fuck. Fuck licensing. Do it, Nintendo. Just pay the lawyer.
I mean they're going up against they'll be going up against Disney.
What do you mean?
Page
Disney
Master,
doesn't own Page Master.
they own Fox.
Was it Fox?
It was Fox.
I didn't realize it was Fox. Yeah, you're fucked, Nintendo.
No,
Actually, Nintendo and Disney have a good. You know a game I want a remaster of?
Oh well, actually, although I will say, this remasters Disney, Aladdin and Lion King.
You know what I want?
What?
If I could, I want to actually go around. Everybody here. Obviously, current generation doesn't count, but going back at least a generation, if not further,
Okay.
you can have a remaster. God, that's so hard.
That's too much to throw me at once. I could come with like an idea of something I want, but I wouldn't be able to be like, this is the game. It would take me a minute.
I was gonna say what I want on Switch. I want Epic Mickey 1 and 2.
Wait, so all you're saying is it looks a little prettier and it's on a current
I don't even
console.
give a shit about that. Just put it on current. Let me rephrase. Just put a old game on current hardware.
Kung
What
Fu
would you want?
Chaos.
I want that so bad.
100%
Ninja
Kung
Division's
Fu
owned
Chaos.
by Microsoft
I know.
now.
I know.
Come on, looking at you,
I know.
Phil Spencer.
I know.
Phil Spencer, is that his name?
For Microsoft, yeah.
That is his name?
I would cut off my left nut for Kung Fu Chaos. That game is.
I'd give them both. You can take it all. Just give me that game.
I need to sit down and have you play that game. It's so much fun. That is single-handedly the most fun I've ever had playing a game. It is a damn good game. Legend of Drunken Bastard, Giant Crack.
You know what game I really want like on current hardware, and we're never gonna get it, so I don't even know why I bother with it.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
I want Skyrim on something other than the original system that it came out on.
I want it on my refrigerator.
Yes.
I mean, I am getting a Samsung refrigerator delivered next week. Maybe I can get Skyrim on it.
Did you at least measure? Oh my god, you didn't measure, did you?
Oh no, we measured everything like 12 times.
Did you really though?
Yes.
It's gonna be that episode of Raymond.
It is it's half an inch shorter and a quarter of an inch thinner than our current fridge.
I'm talking about the stove.
The stove is
You're either gonna lose shit behind it and in the cracks, or it's too big.
no, it's perfect depth and width. We need to so we'll have to adjust the feet on it
Make it
because
taller.
because it's like a just shy of a half an inch too short.
Gotcha.
So the counter doesn't go flush with it. So but the feet are adjustable on the bottom, so we can adjust it further up.
Gotcha.
The
Put
only
a coaster under it.
Huh?
Put a coaster under it.
Poker chips.
No. Poker chips work. No,
Sugar packet.
sugar packets. Just store all my sweet and low underneath the stove. No,
Honey, how much tea you been drinking? The stove sagged.
no, the one that's going to be bad, or not bad, the one that's just going to be annoying, I guess. The microwave, because it's
I forgot we were talking about appliances and thought we were back on remasters. And he was like, "Oh, that's gonna be really bad." And I was like, "What game?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, we're talking about appliances."
the microwave is the good on width. It's a half inch deeper, so it's going to sit out more from the cabinet, and it's taller, so it's going to sit lower.
My ass is hurting this chair. I gotta move.
So like, it's going to be like a half inch more out and a half inch more down than what we have now.
Gotcha.
So hopefully it doesn't get
Do you have a
too
microwave
annoying.
now? Oh yeah, you did the thing.
I-
I don't know why I thought Adrian said you guys weren't allowed to have a microwave.
We're not allowed to have a TV.
Those are two very similar things.
We're not allowed to have a TV in the bedroom. That was the only rule that she had moving in
You
here.
guys said that you didn't have room for a microwave on the counter. So you
Not on the counter, but above the stove we
I
have.
didn't think you had one at all. That's right. I'm never in your kitchen cooking. I'm always just there eating your food.
and then we also have a new dishwasher, but the dishwasher is the exact same dimensions as our current dishwasher. So that works.
I want no thinking. You get 5 seconds to answer. I splash something in your face.
No, that's what I was
Don't
going to.
ask
I was
what
waiting
it
for you,
is.
Nick.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was gonna say I just wanted.
I was
know-
doing
well,
that to waste time so you could think.
I forgot. Answer that. I already asked you a question. Answer that, then I have another one.
Okay.
It's just as hard, if not harder.
So, so once again, I don't know if this would be my one choice, but something that I would like
it
on
doesn't
a.
have to be the only, but yeah.
I would like to have the Punisher game.
That's a damn good game. That's a damn good answer.
Yeah.
That
The Punisher game on the original
was-
Xbox?
Yep.
Yep.
That's a
I'd-
damn
I'd-
good game.
Yeah, I'd play that on the Switch.
I will
Or
give you props.
I would play the fuck out of that.
man, that game was violent.
Get rid of the fucking black and white shit.
Yeah, do the legit Punisher, like the actual adults only cut.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing. So so you played the Punisher on console.
Yeah.
So when you would go to do like one of the major over the top kills, like with the drill, you'd grab the guy, put his head down, grab the drill, and then go down, and it would like cut to black and white. You would have the blood splatter, and then when you pull back up, then it would go back to color, and you'd throw the guy on the ground, and that was
It
that.
wasn't supposed to be that way.
It wasn't originally designed like that.
That
They
was the
said it
only way
was
they could
too
get it.
graphic and too violent to get a mature rating, that they had to do something to bring it down. So for those, they compromised and made it black and white. By the way,
Fun fact about that.
they didn't actually change the game. They just put a filter over it. So if you play it on PC, there's
remove
there's an actual hack that
Console command?
like it's a crack that you install that deletes that filter. So that way when you play the game, you get the full unrated adults only cut of the game.
They had to do that to Kill Bill.
They did. But yeah, it was one of those where they said there was way too much blood. These deaths are over the top and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, well, what if we made it black and white so it's not as graphic? And they were like, yeah, sure, we can live with that. So they made it that just to squeak by and get a mature rating. They did kind of the same kind of concept with Manhunt too. Manhunt was
Yeah.
also having issues on the original release. That was one thing. The original release of Manhunt had a big problem with that, so they had to change that. When Manhunt 2 came out, it came out on the Wii, and I had Manhunt 2 with like actual like motion controls. So like you come up behind a person and then you pull out a brown paper bag or a plastic bag and then wrap it around their head and pull back to suffocate them. Like it was ridiculously over the top. And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Oh wait, I can have a knife in my hand and physically stab. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's motion controls." But then like the first one was like, it's too much blood. You gotta do some kind of filter, kind of block some.
You
of that
can
stuff.
have violent controls. We just don't want to see it.
I would also love to see a fucking Suffering duology remaster. 1 and Ties the Vine. That would be awesome.
I just found Ties the Vine the other day at my house.
It's so good.
I don't know what I do with it.
What was I about to look up?
Yeah, you got your
quick answer.
So you got your question. So
Yeah, well, I was just gonna. You were saying my other question.
yeah,
Okay. Favorite game from childhood. The look on his face answers that question.
Favorite childhood
That's a
game?
hard question. That's a tough one.
I got it.
You got it?
Yep, I got it.
I think I've settled on an answer, but I don't know if it's
Favorite childhood game?
Right. Don't know if this
I don't
is
think
the
you'll
right
expect
answer.
this.
I'm torn between 2.
I'm 100% sure.
I'm torn between 2, 3, 4. God damn it! Mine keeps going up. I'm going with my original answer.
You guys go. Come back to me.
You go first.
Oh, thank you, baby.
Yeah,
I
asked the
gotta
question.
go with Banjo Kazooie. I gotta give it to that. The first time I ever played Banjo Kazooie, you want to know something crazy?
Sure, we're gonna tell me anyway. So yeah,
Yeah, it was about 20 years ago. 15 years ago? 20 years ago, I feel. Actually, it wasn't the first time I played it. That's a lie. Anyway, I played it like 20 years ago in this house. Before he owned it.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was
Cool little fact.
forever
Okay.
ago.
Played it in here, this house about 17 years before you owned this house.
what makes it the game like favorite childhood game?
What I loved about that game was so there's 2 things with that. So what I loved about the game is so with the exception of Mario 64, it was the first 3D platformer I had ever played. And to this day, I still am obsessed with 3D platformers. Like to this day, I still consider 3D platforming one of my favorite genres. I loved the characters because it was, they were adorable, like, animal creatures, but they were also very cute and funny, and like they would say stuff that would make me laugh, and I was like, oh, they're really funny. And then it had cool gameplay. It was a game that one of the first games I played that was full of collectibles. So, oh hey, you beat the game, but now go back and keep playing more to collect everything.
Okay.
So there was just a lot of elements of games that I play now that all started with that game. So I think that's probably the biggest thing for me, was just a lot of that stuff. But I'm excited to hear your answer. Because you are like, you're sure.
So
Knew it. I'm just kidding.
no. So as I've talked about, I love Resident Evil. I mean, GoldenEye was fantastic. Don't get me wrong. There's all these great games, but I think the one game, and it's the reason why I play the games I do now. I think this is the one game that probably shaped why I play shooters so much.
Okay.
You would think it'd be GoldenEye, but I would actually say it's Unreal Tournament on the Dreamcast.
Really?
Unreal Tournament.
is such an amazing fucking game.
I loved it
Yeah.
because of how just ridiculously fast paced it was. I never played anything like it. It felt super competitive because I would always put the bots on like the hardest, but I beat that game on like the hardest difficulty multiple times. Yeah, and I was like 6.
Nice.
So I like the whole like you gotta see your name at the top of the screen, and like you would blow somebody's head off and be like headshot, and then like you'd come up and you'd have like your rival, like the one person that you would be like on their team that would kill you the most, and vice versa, and things like that, and they'd be like talking smack in the game, and it felt like you were in some kind of like team, like a real team deathmatch thing. Like it just was a really cool like, okay, I got to name my character and like the different game modes and everything, and just like I said, just the whole fast pace with like the jump boots and the I don't know. I just loved all the weapons in that game. It was an absolute blast, and I think that's why I like so many competitive PvP shooters now. Is because I played that game so much.
That's a good answer.
So
Blew the shit out of my answer.
but so there's games that I love. Like it's not my favorite game of all time,
But
by any
it's
means, but
You have a memory.
it's the
of,
most.
like-
I would say it defined a lot what I like to play.
Yeah.
See,
For sure.
that specific reason is why I'm choosing the game I'm playing. So,
God, I feel like
You wasted it, Joe.
well, so
I absolutely love Banjo-Kazooie, but there's other games that I'm like, I could have picked that. I could have picked that.
so my thing is,
Mario 64 even. I'm just like Mario 64. I feel like defined a lot.
when I was a kid, we played a lot of games, like a
We did.
lot of games.
That's why it's so hard to pick one. Is it's like go back and think about
A
everything.
lot
we
of
played.
NES games, a lot of
Bounty
Super
Hunter.
Nintendo games, a lot of N64 games, a lot of PC games.
We
But
were all over the map.
but it's one of those where it's like we played a lot of action games or platformers or shooters and that kind of stuff. The one game that completely changed how I play games and the games that I'm into was Morrowind, because
That's a damn good answer.
that was the
That's a damn
that
good
was the
answer, too.
first RPG I ever played, and very quickly became my favorite genre. And ever since then, like 9 times out of 10,
that's
my
good.
go-to is always
I remember,
RPGs
like,
now.
I go through and I'd be home from school sick, and like everyone would be out of the house, and I'd be like, I can finally play Morrowind because no one else is here.
Yeah,
I have a chance to play on the console. That game, man.
it's so good, and it's also one of those I still distinctly because
Do you remember the first time we killed a guard in that game?
we went there.
It took like a week. Not really.
No.
That's an exaggeration. It took like
that
30
was
hours,
not
though.
that was a ugh.
What?
that was a whole mess because there was a bug and everything, and it
What
just.
are you talking about?
Do you not remember? Okay, hold, I'll get to
I
that.
just remember this guard wouldn't die, and we kept attacking him, and he kept like going through. We had to keep like using cheat codes to heal ourselves. 'cause
Yeah.
he was killing
Black,
us.
white, black, black, black. Hold A, press B. So long story short,
I still remember that actually.
Morrowind. We bought it on release day on the original Xbox.
You did.
I did.
I remember demoing that at Circuit City before it was out, and I said this game is going to be the greatest game ever made. I remember that day.
It took forever for me to convince Tina to allow us to buy the game because,
It was teen.
it was teen, but at that point in time, I had gotten in trouble at school for stealing,
and there's so much theft in that game.
and there was a lot of theft in the
She used to
game.
yell at us because she
And
was like,
so-
"You can't steal in that game," and I was like, "I can. I just hit A."
And she specifically forbade us of doing anything like that. But we bought it release day at Meyer.
We put it at Meyer.
We bought it at Meyer.
We went and demoed it at Circuit City. We're like, "Fuck you, salesman! Going somewhere else to buy it."
we bought it at Meyer because I had
Gift
gift cards
For Meyer? That
from
seems,
Meyer.
that seems so weird.
It was
I don't know
in.
why. We used to buy so many.
I was
games
in
at Meijer.
7th grade.
I can still, to this day, I remember exactly what Meyer's video game setup looked like.
Uh,
It looked
because-
like the sporting goods counter at like a normal sporting goods store, but then
Yes.
like take out the ammunition and put in video games.
Yes, and it was also they had
Like,
the
everything
they
was
had
like-
the biggest selection of Super Nintendo games.
Mhm.
And we also got a Super Nintendo a little late in the generation.
A little late. What the fuck are you talking about?
We got a very.
I found out how late we were.
Yeah.
I thought when I was a kid, I was like, we have the greatest video game hardware in existence. We have a Super Nintendo.
We got everything months late. Well, let me rephrase. We got everything months late from the point of original Xbox. I think that was the one that we got closest to the launch date.
We actually know that one was very close. Like
Right.
Dad got that one for us close because he was actually
Well, 'cause-
certified with Microsoft.
Specific-
And Dad was like, "I love Microsoft. I'm going to buy you guys a Microsoft console."
Specifically because it was a DVD player, and it was
Well,
cheaper.
that too.
It was also cheaper to buy us an Xbox than it was to buy a DVD player.
But the other thing was,
If that shows you how expensive DVD players were when they first came
Same
out.
with Blu-ray and PS3. So that's
100%.
That's why we got
Yep.
it on PS3.
we got an N64, okay, in 2000. Came out in 96. So in 99, I'm playing a Super Nintendo going, this is the greatest fucking system in the world. Nothing will beat this. Had no idea it's successor had already been out for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, yeah. So
Games were cheap though.
that's true. That's true.
It'd be like having a Wii now and being like,
But
"Oh
yeah,
wow,
more-
look how great this is," and like have no idea that the Switch or the Wii U were even a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Morrowind was definitely a game changer for me in terms of.
I gotta be honest with you, that was the first like mature, and I'm not talking about rating, but mature type of a game.
Correct.
It wasn't Mario. It wasn't this kiddish game of go and collect all of the coins. It was here's a mature story with mature themes with mature decisions you had to make. I'll give you that. That's a good answer.
But no, so when we killed that guard, so
yeah, what the fuck happened with that? That pissed me off.
so we started the game. I made a character. I was born under the sign of the tower, so I had access
That's what I always
to
pick.
automatic lock picking up to a lock level of 50, because in the starting area that you start at,
Let's see, Neen.
when you come out of Sedanine, you go to the right, there's the guards tower that's
Yup.
always locked at a 40 lock level or whatever. So because I had
before it was like, oh, this is an intermediate lock or like an advanced lock. It was like, oh, lock level is 40.
so you have to have 40 ranks in lock picking to unlock it. And
It's pretty hard to do.
it was pretty hard to do, except for I was born on the side of the tower. So once per day I could go and boom, it's unlocked. So I did that, unlocked it, walk in. And then we would just ransack the place and steal every single thing, go outside
Above
to
them was a merchant.
well, no. So,
Or no, it
so,
was next door.
so she would leave, and then so from where you first enter Sedanine, if you go to the left, you could get to a merchant. If you go to the right, you could get to this guards tower. So we'd go to the right, wipe out the guards tower, come over here, sell everything. Come over here, wipe out the guards tower, and just keep going back and forth until literally there was nothing left in this guards tower. At this point in time, I was stealing stuff, and the guards saw me. So what I did was I went ahead and just equipped all the armor that I had, did the black, white, black, 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 hold A, hit B. So basically it was a cheat code that you can black, white, black, 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 and then hold A, and then it would increase your health. And it would just max it out. And then when you were done, you could press B, and then he would damage you, and then so on and so forth. Well, there was a weird glitch where you could hold A and then press B, and then he would damage you, and it would just heal everything you took damage of. So as long as you didn't take damage equal to or greater than your maximum hit points, you would survive. And so this guard's attacking me, and I was like, I don't want to fucking die and all this shit. So I went ahead and I hadn't saved at this point, and it took forever to run this place out. So I decided I'll just attach a weapon. I'll kill him. There's no witnesses around. He wasn't able to report the crime. So at this point in time, if I kill him, I no longer have a bounty on my head because nobody knows anything about it. And I won't get in trouble for killing a guard because nobody's around to report it. 2.5 hours later, I finally get the killing blow. And the game glitch and crashes. Bull man.
I just remember that fight taking like 2.5 hours.
Just a little mad. It took forever. And that's another game where it had I don't know what you call it. Like when you're doing stuff and if I hit you in the arms enough, I can destroy your gauntlets type stuff. So we got to the point where like all of his armor is destroyed, all of my armor is destroyed. So we're just two dudes in underwear bashing each other with swords because neither one of us have any more armor left. Because
that's how that game worked.
yeah, so like all of my armor is destroyed. So I'm standing there naked. All of his armor is destroyed. So he's standing there naked, and we're literally just two dudes bashing each other with swords, standing in our
I liked
underwear.
about that game.
Moon sugar,
That's
Yeah.
a game, yes.
skooma.
Skooma. No, that was a game. I walked up.
Yes, that was another.
Also a glitch.
That was one of the best fucking things. I
They
literally
couldn't figure it out. That's why that exists. You know that, right?
yeah.
They literally couldn't figure it out.
Huh.
So there was a guy. There was an issue with loading the game where there was a glitch where it would cause a man to fall from the sky. And they couldn't figure out what was happening. So they literally said, fuck it. And on his corpse, they were putting a potion that would cause you to jump high in the sky and a journal entry about that potion. And we're like, fuck it. It's story now.
Yeah,
That was the beginning of Bethesda being like, here's a crazy glitch. Fuck it, it's a feature.
Fuck it, it's a feature. We're gonna make it to where food respawns. Like
That was also crazy.
that still to this day is my favorite feature in a Bethesda game. Which you've heard about that, right?
Which one?
The guard. The guards
Oblivion.
were killing.
Is that Oblivion or
It's
Skyrim?
Oblivion.
Oblivion.
When you first start Oblivion, you start in a jail cell.
Yep.
Across from you is another guy in a jail cell. Later on in the game, as part of the Dark Brotherhood mission, you have to go back and kill that man. The problem is there was a glitch where you'd get back and you'd go to kill him and he's already dead in his cell. They couldn't figure out why. He was already dead. So they literally went through and tested it and literally had a camera and set it up started the game and was running it. And the issue was the guards in that prison were running out of food and he had food in his cell. So they would go down to take his food. It would start a fight between them and they would overpower him because he had
Guards
nothing on him.
versus an unarmed,
So they would kill him
armored
and
guy.
steal all of his food. So the fix was they kept respawning the guards' food every like 12 hours. In-game time, 12 hours, they would just respawn the food.
because
I
the
was like,
guards
that's
were.
some brilliant AI that they were like, I smell food.
I need food. Oh, I smell food down here. Go down there. Oh, well, this guy's a prisoner. He doesn't need food. Kill him. Take his food. Like
Like, that's crazy.
that's nuts.
I mean,
That is
to think that came out
fucking nuts.
2006,
something like
2005,
that. Maybe a little later than that because
2007.
6. I think it's 6.
Morrowind was 2002.
Yeah, it's 6 or 7. I can't remember. Man, I can't remember now.
Not the
I feel
movie.
like it's 6.
2006, March 20th.
Oh, it's my birthday.
I was just going to say, I was like, why does that date sound familiar? And it's because it's also the same day that Animal Crossing is
Yeah.
coming out. And then I was like, oh, wait, I think that date is Shannon's birthday.
That's also the same date when the most disappointing Resident Evil game came out of all time.
Really?
Yep. Raccoon City.
That game? What are you talking about? Look at his face.
I will stab
I
you
was
when you're
so
sleeping.
excited when that game came out. I
So you played
played
it?
it for about 3 minutes, and I said, well, that was $60 well spent.
I was so hard headed about the Resident Evil series that I played through like 3/4 of the game. I was like, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better.
Guys, it's gotta get. We cannot get worse than this. It's gotta go up from here.
Oh my god. I was so mad because I said
I gotta work so early in the morning.
Real quick, another couple things. Big interesting change. I don't know if you guys really care too much about it, but it's kind of interesting. New Yakuza game, Yakuza
Yeah.
7.
Not just that. Did you see what else they did?
Well,
stop doing
they're switching it. It's no longer going to be an action
I
RPG,
saw this.
turn-based.
Not
We're gonna
just
get-
that.
It's going to be a turn-based JRPG.
They are also re-releasing Yakuza 3, 4, and 5.
Yes, I did see that. But it's going to be weird going from Yakuza
yeah.
1 through 6 to, it's going to be a turn-based JRPG. It's kind of interesting.
Why did they decide to do that?
They wanted to do something different because they've already made 6 games.
Yeah.
6?
Also,
5? 6?
really quick thing. Who here gets slightly annoyed because
Me.
of how long it takes to like fish and stuff in Breath of the Wild?
Not at all.
Like,
What do you mean to fish in Breath of the Wild? What are you talking
so like
about?
in Breath of the Wild, you're gonna fish, cast, wait.
How the fuck are you fishing?
What do you mean?
Breath of the Wild, Legend
Yeah.
of Zelda?
Yeah.
That's how you fish.
How do you fish?
I throw a grenade in the water and blow them all
Redneck
up.
fishing.
Well,
I get like 30 fish at a time.
nope. There's a better way. So if you swim out,
Uh-huh.
get away from shore, and then make an ice platform to raise you up,
Okay.
then you can stand on the platform and whistle for your fish or for
I
your
heard
horse.
something about whistling for the fish.
You whistle for your horse,
Yeah.
okay? It scares the fish. They all go to the shore because they're trying to get away from the sound of you whistling.
Mhm.
They all go to the shore and get landlocked, and then you just jump up and just boom, 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 and just hit A, running all up along the shore and grab everything.
See-
you can get like 50 to 60 at a time.
I always
Like,
like,
no
just
problem.
like I pick up one of the like bombs and I throw it in and I wait and I wait and I detonate it and then it's just like 30 fish just like rise up.
Yeah, no, like literally,
Oh my god.
like just because they're all landlocked and can't get off.
I may have to try this.
I was like, that's brilliant. There's just something about how like you can use Breath of the Wild to your
Is
advantage.
anyone else excited for Breath of the Wild 2? Not you two, because
Yeah.
you haven't fucking beat the first one.
I've still played it. And
There's
enjoyed the shit
only
out of it.
one mission in the game.
Yeah,
That's
have
why.
fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
storyline's only one mission.
yeah. That's your Bethesda is that's me to that game. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna run into this and then this and then this and then it's like, well,
I literally sat around one day and was just like, oh, hey, like, I'm going to go and try and get the Master Sword because I haven't done that yet. And then, like, I went through and it was like, oh, now I have 13 hearts, so I have a Master Sword. Fuck it. I'm going to see if I can take on Ganon. And I just, like, walked into the castle and I beat him and was like, oh, guess I beat the game. Like, I didn't even...
So what do I do
that's
now?
one thing I will
What do you
tell
mean? Now we can play the game.
Right? The one thing I will tell you is if you're going to beat that game, do not beat the game. Do not kill Ganon until you have found all of the memories.
Okay.
There's two endings to that game. The shit ending and the good ending.
Okay.
You get the bad ending, and I'm not saying bad as in like it's a bad ending because it's an awful ending, but it's a bad ending if you don't have all the memories.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, anything else anybody wants to talk about before we end this stream?
I don't believe so.
We don't have. We've
So
only
Destiny
got one
2.
viewer.
Yes,
Dude, we had a whole bunch of shit. to
I
talk
am
about with
so
Destiny 2.
happy
We
we made
made-
an entire podcast without talking about
we
it.
did.
I'm so happy. We got our agenda across. I don't know about your stupid ass agenda, but we
It's
got
fine.
our
Just wait till
political
next
agenda
Wednesday.
came through. I won't be here next Wednesday.
Where are you gonna be?
If anywhere else.
That's great. I will say, after next week's podcast, because we're leaving Thursday afternoon.
For what?
We're going to Michigan.
Where are you going to Michigan?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to an Irish music festival.
I didn't think Adrian was going.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I'm thinking of then.
We're gonna go see
That must not be what I'm thinking of.
Gaelic Storm, High Kings,
Is that you guys?
Seamus Kennedy. Is that us? What?
I thought you guys were going to Joey's property.
No, it's the weekend of the 28th. So yeah, so
Would you fucking stop that?
You started it.
this weekend's Horror Hound. Next weekend is Michigan. The week-
Whorehound.
Yes. She looks like a little slut with them red lips.
Dude, I just want to meet Matthew Lillard, and even if I see him, I'm not going to be allowed to talk to him, and I'm not okay with that.
But yeah,
I
no.
want to send him a tweet ahead of time, be like, dude, I can't come to Horror Hound because of fucking stupid work.
You're at least coming to the movie.
Let me take a picture. I'm sure I can take a picture if I don't ask him to take a personal picture, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So till next week, I am Nick.
I'm Tyler. I'm also Joe. I'm also Corey.
I'm just Shannon.
And this has been the Destiny 2 podcast.
I was waiting for Just Jack. Just Jack. But all right, and till next week. Later. Bye.
Bye, bitches!
That was rude.